Good morning, good day, good evening. So it looks like 8 minutes is going to start. If you want to check it out and ask questions, go to the Stormworks store page, and you should be able to get to the live chat for the devs, and then you can type in your question down there, and then they can ignore it unless it's something they want to answer. oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's how you do it. But I'll be live streaming it, and well, we can see what they say, and then we have it recorded for all time what this DLC is going to be. So, should be fun, right? So, what are you guys saying right now on the thing? 54% space, fishing, sales, and other. Okay, right in the order I typed them almost, right? So, interesting. Yeah. I don't know what it's going to be. I think that space is going to be the next game, but maybe I'm wrong completely. It's going to be a DLC. He does talk about space a lot in the Q&As. If you go back and listen to the Jersey QAs, he says, I really like space. I'd really like to do space. Space would be interesting. He says that over and over again. So there's a small chance, especially because he's been doing the compressible gas update talk, which would be for space. I mean, ideal for space. So, I don't know. Space does sound like a possibility, but I thought for sure it would be the next game. So, yeah. And you guys are able to hear me, right? I'm not talking to myself. Sometimes I screw the microphones up because I swap all the time between the OBS modes. Let me know. You can hear me. Yes? Yes? No? Just say no. Yes. Oh, crap. No one's talking. Say something. Uh-oh. Everyone is expecting space and a lot of bugs. Okay, yes, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Yay! It was such a delay. So everyone is expecting space, huh, Io? In 5 minutes, we're going to find out. Decoration DLC, someone says in the Steam chat. That would be interesting. Space probably is DLC, says someone. What else are they saying? Space or fishing? Anyone think farming? Does anyone think farming? Because someone was saying farming. Because they were adding animals and stuff quite a bit. 100 new animals DLC, someone says. Space is greater than fishing. Okay. Fun. So, yep. Oh, look at that. 4 minutes. It's counting down like crazy here. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I don't know what it's going to be. I hope it's good. And I hope they don't release it unless they really polish it. Really, God, I always say this. Just grab the community. Whoever it is, grab those builders that are like always building and get them to test, because some of these people, some of you people, you guys build 24 hours a day and are always kind of like pushing the Stormworks to the limits. So make you into testers, you know, like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you use people that are like always running your game? That way you can find those bugs really quick. But, you know, I think they've been doing in-house testing, and they only test what they're working on and not the whole game. So we get problems on launch day. Hello, Anthony. Let's see, imagine if it's a bug fix DLC. Well, people a long time ago, I did a joke. I said, would you buy multiplayer DLC? And they said yes, they would. So it could be a possibility. It could cash in on multiplayer DLC. The Discord server is currently exploding in pure chaos. There's, oh really? I'm banned from the Discord. I can't see. So you have to let me in on that, IO. What's going on in the Discord? Are they all guessing? Are they all going crazy? Yeah, I got banned for the Stormy Awards last year because I pinged the devs, and then they muted me, and then
everyone. Welcome to the video.
Oh, here we go.
Starting soon. Just let me know, is the microphone volume okay?
Yes, Deltar's microphone's working. We're so excited. Talk to us more. We want to hear your voice. It's been so long. Well, actually, it hasn't been that long. I have the dev bot that sounds like Deltar's, so I don't miss them too much because I get to hear Deltar's at the end of the month. So that's fun. But oh yeah, so yeah, I got banned for the Stormy Awards for pinging the devs.
Thank you very much. There's about a 20-second delay, I think, on the chat for me, so I did get those responses. Thank you very much.
And then I created a new account so that I could post an image of the day of the Stormy Awards, what it was going to be, and then I got permanently banned for creating a new account. So that was that. There you go. A bunch of people are unhappy because they all think it's space. They all met the devs already. I wasn't trolling. I really wasn't trolling. I just wanted to post the images, and I wanted to get them on the show. And then after that, I killed the Stormy Awards because it was too much work for them not to give me a little love. So that was that. Let us see here. Add sales. I'd rather have jungle than space, says someone. Please update the fix actual base game. It's dinosaur update. Sales are pointless. I'm just reading these because it's fun. I want to make viable electricity vehicles. Space, maybe? Please, no fishing. Space DLC.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the video. We'll be starting very, very soon. No, when the countdown runs to 0, we will start with the trailer. We have a trailer for the new DLC to announce it.
Oh, I like trailers. I get to re-edit them.
A bit about what's in the DLC, the features, and a bit from the notes and so on. And then we'll go to questions, and we'll just do a regular developer Q&A questions. So we'll go to the countdown now. And
you all can hear him,
just,
right? You can hear the video,
and then we will
just to make
start
sure
the trailer.
You can hear Deltar's, right? It looks like you can. I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay, thanks, Io. All right, 25, 24, 23, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17. We're going to get a trailer, guys. Trailer time. 13, 12. Ready? Count with me. 10, 9, 8. See, it's space. 7, 6, T minus 5, T minus 4, 3, 2. Now, here's blue. Where's blue? Blue's supposed to say ignition. I'm going to shut up now. Let's listen. drugs or what? I should get paid. All right, here we go.
And welcome back. That was the trailer for the new DLC, and the release date, I don't know if I've already said, is, let me get that up. I have that written down. Is October the 12th. So that's going to be out October the 12th, which is how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 7 weeks. October the 12th. Yeah, let's go through the notes on exactly where the features are, and then we'll get to some questions. So yeah, the plan is we're just going to
Typing.
go through the notes first. Let me just bring them up. Awesome. So the footage on the screen right now is, I'll just turn it down a little bit on the volume.
Okay, here's one of the
this
things
is a
where
pre-recorded video that we did yesterday.
they should have Blue
it's
and
just
that other
because I
guy
cannot
that did the space
talk
stuff.
and play the game at the
They
same
should have
time. I
them
can't do
work
two
on this
things
with
at
them.
once. So we did this pre-recorded footage yesterday, and this is ourselves in a rocket, and yeah, we're taking off from a new space base that we are adding on the Sawyer Isles, and it's just a launch platform, and indeed we're going to ascend up through the atmosphere and enter space, and this is a continuous simulation. So previously you just kind of go up like an infinite distance and nothing would happen. I think you saw there on the monitor there was a kind of a transition there, but this is a kind of a gradual transition that depends on your altitude, and as you get higher in the altitude, the atmosphere changes, the lighting changes. As you get high enough, you start to see the horizon and the planet moving away. There's a real-time atmospheric shading of the Earth planet, and so you kind of see the atmosphere, and that's with the day-night cycle as well. So as the day-night cycle goes around,
This could be fun for multiplayer.
See the lighting of the planet change there, so you can see what the day-night cycle is on Earth. As well as that, there's the other aspects of that as well. So as you get higher, you can see here the atmosphere is thinning and thinning, and that's happening mechanically as well. The pressure is reducing, and so the air pressure drops away. You can see there the horizon starting to show on the video. And then of course there's gravity as well, so the gravity is also dropping off as you get higher and higher and higher up. So you kind of got this kind of upper atmosphere, and of course that continues all the way through into space. As you go higher up into space, you will eventually hit kind of a geostationary orbit if you go high enough. If you don't want to go that high, you want to have a lower orbit, you can get your horizontal motion going, and if you rotate laterally, you move laterally, so horizontally, you increase the speed there, then of course you can achieve a lower orbit as well, like like you might expect in other space games or in real life. Yeah, we're making good progress into space here. You can see the atmosphere is dropping away, and above, because it's nighttime right now, you can't see the moon. We're actually in the shadow of the Earth right now. The moon's above us. It's kind of eclipsed. I guess that's kind of a side effect of how the lighting works, but in a few moments the sun will rise and we'll be able to see the moon above us, and that's another place you can go. So of course you can go into space, go into orbit, and whatever else, and then of course you can continue on a journey to the moon. You can descend to the moon, onto the lunar surface, and the surface of the moon is, I think it's 30 kilometers by 30 kilometers, so a total of 900 square kilometers, and this is dust, it's craters, it's gorges, there's caves as well, and so yeah, you've got that stuff as well. I think that the gravity level on the moon is about normal of what you expect. You see the atmosphere shading changing there, and of course we can see the moon above. Yeah, that's responding to the sun. So there's quite a few engine level changes there. Let's go through the list. So of course we've got the atmosphere and space. You can see here with this rocket there is 4 engines on the bottom. These are new engines. These are liquid fuel engines. So they're powered by compressed hydrogen and compressed oxygen. And they of course burn those 2 ingredients and produce a liquid fuel jet. They are gimbal controlled as well, so they've got a little bit of tilt to them that can be controlled for thrust vectoring. And they're probably kind of like your main use of engines in space. We've also got a new electrolysis component for generating liquid oxygen and hydrogen, and of course you can separate water with electrolysis to produce the two elements of the fuel. And this in fact kind of incorporates into our gas and fluid rework, because obviously we've added the compression system, but we've also separated air into its constituent parts as well. So you've got oxygen, you've got carbon dioxide, you've got nitrogen, and of course you've got hydrogen as well. And they're treated individually and uniquely. That is a base game changes. So some of these changes are of course going into the base game, and they'll just become part of Stormworks, DLC or not. And I think that's quite important because we don't want to be separating the community into 2 games. I think it's important that the creations can be spawned in both games, even if you're not able to access the kind of the space biome, and perhaps some of the components will be disabled, like liquid fuel rockets, for example. But ultimately, it's kind of keeping the game consistent, the rules consistent. So we wanted to make the new fluid changes in the base game as well. So there's the fluid and gas types that we have changed. The compressed gases are also useful for the RCS thrusters as well. So they're small thrusters that release compressed gas in order to they've got little funnels on them, and you can operate them directionally.
For someone to say it's build and rescue. Build and rescue.
Do smaller motions, so they're not powerful, but they are great for maneuvering, and they have, I think, 5 nozzles on each thruster. They've got 4 nozzles on each thruster, but you can fire all 4 together to kind of give you a 5th direction. So you can do your rotation and translation with those, and we've also kind of put some inbuilt logic to them as well to make them a bit easier to use. So you can operate them on a composite channel, and you can signal them to either fire independently if you want custom control, or you can just tell them to do the translation operations you want. I want my vehicle to move left, right, up, down, or rotate, and there's various composite channels to send those commands through, so it makes it a lot easier and a lot more stable. We've also got new kind of gyroscopic actuators. They're wheels that spin, and they'll accelerate or decelerate in order to create rotational forces. That's
they're using the wheel glitch.
Just generally useful, but particularly useful for rotating in space, where you can't have like fins and things, because obviously there's no aerodynamics in space, and of course all the stuff you'd expect to be missing in space is missing. Obviously there's no weather, there's no aerodynamics, and so on.
How about solar cells?
As well as that, we've obviously got new sensors. GPS also doesn't work in space, obviously, as is a realism feature. GPS is only available on Earth. So as you go into space, you need to rely on other ways of navigating. We're adding a new astronomy sensor that gives you our kind of astronomy coordinates system to position yourself in space. And of course, something else we're still working on is new space missions. But we'll announce more on that in the future. But yes, there will be a new series of missions to be included in the DLC as well. There are some engine changes, as we've previously discussed. There's the compressed gases, which is very, very useful for space, but also very useful just generally in the game. and that
Yep, blocker.
allows you to basically push lots of gas into a container, and as you do, the pressure inside that
Can
container
we now
will
suffocate
increase.
underwater?
So it's largely based on kind of
I
how
wonder.
compression works in real life. You've just got if you compress the same amount of gas into half of the space, the pressure is doubled, and so on. And in fact, all pressure is then driven by the gas pressure. So if you then pump water into a compartment, if there's air already in that compartment, then that air will get compressed as the water displaces it, and as that air gets compressed, it generates the pressure inside that compartment. Most of the vehicles just work as they are, but we have added some new components with this to make it a bit easier to use. And it's just a more powerful system as well. So you've got some new tools for these things. The video has jumped ahead. There's a little cut here that we've put in, and we're now gone over to the moon. The journey time is 15-20 minutes, I think. I think in real life, I think it's a lot longer. It's hours and hours. And what we've done is
I don't know. It might be
moved
fun.
the moon a little bit closer to the Earth
Tavish.
for
I don't
gameplay reasons,
buggy,
and obviously this
but
is
fun.
something
Could
we
be
do
fun.
from
We
time
had
to
a lot of
time, where
fun
we
using
take a break
Blue's
from real
rocket.
life and just modify things for making the gameplay easier and simpler and more fun. So yeah, there was no point in making players spend 10 hours traveling to the moon. So we've modified that transition so it's a shorter distance. As you can see here, we're now nearing the moon, and we'll start to transition onto the surface soon. And as we
It looks a
descend,
bit
we'll arrive
too
on this
bumpy
900 square kilometer
to like
lunar surface.
buggy on it. I don't
So
know.
yeah, we've added these new gas components, and there's relief valves now for fluid and gases, and this just allows you to vent or
It allows you to
refill
vent.
a container freely with the outside atmosphere. So if you've got a lot of pressurized gas in a container, you can vent that gas off, and likewise, if you've got vacuum in the container, you can let gas in. And this obviously is for plumbing reasons, right? It helps you relieve deadlock and delta P where it's affecting flow. And that'll be useful for getting your systems to work. But otherwise, we have been testing vehicles.
Oh, this is going to bring in a whole bunch of new people that are not
works
in the
the
Stormworks.
way you'd expect. The way it previously worked for vehicles still tend to work the same. There's also, I suppose, the benefit that we've given the compartments the ability to now hold gas. Vehicle compartments, so custom tanks or just inside sealed rooms and so on, that has its own temperature data, it has its own pressure data. So the temperature and pressure inside those
just some good
compartments
question.
are defined by the actual temperature and pressure of the fluid and gas within the compartment, and so on.
Are we going to get
moon
people?
We are starting to descend, and you can see there's kind of a transition here. We've kind of got the moon planet, and you can see that
women on Venus,
the
men on Mars,
the area below is kind of coming into view on the surface there. And we're going to descend down.
I know, right? I'm going to do another April Fool's joke next year.
Some buildings there.
What do you guys want?
And I believe some of these vehicles in the video are
oh, that's cool. I like how that looks. Look at that. The monitor. I mean, it's pixelated, but it looks cool.
And we're going to go and land near a lunar base, which I believe is a modified underwater base. It works quite well. And we'll land near that. We're going to explore the base. We're going to grab a buggy, and then we're going to go on an expedition.
He's with a beginner. He's going to get kicked from the game.
Cave on the moon. I imagine there are no caves on the moon, or no ones like you're about to see. But there's a bit of a creative authorship to make the landscape of the moon a little bit more interesting. So there's some quite cool cave systems that we have been adding in. Back to the patch notes. There are some long asked for features like large solar panels. We're adding some 4x4 units. So you've got Obviously, solar power is going to be very, very useful in space and on the moon. So yeah, we want to make that easier for players. So now you've only got 1/16 of the linking up of electric nodes
You
to
guys
do.
think it's
So
going to
that'll
be
be a bit easier.
$10?
Make it a lot
15.
easier to make solar
Huh.
arrays. And let's see, we've already discussed quite a lot of the fluid and gas stuff. Oh yes, so I think there's more mechanics, and we've been working a lot on this gas system rework that we're doing. And as I said before, this will be included in the base game as well. So with the gases system, fires will now consume oxygen and they'll produce CO2. So if you have a fire inside a vehicle, that is going to use up your oxygen, that is going to produce CO2, that is going to make it a toxic environment to be in. And of course, with the space update and just generally, we're going to introduce hypoxia and the other one where there's too much CO2 and there's not enough oxygen. So they're going to be new damage types. You've also got overpressure and underpressure. So in terms of your creating your space living apartments, in terms of your life support, you want to be managing the
Does this work
pressures
in submarines?
inside the compartments and the temperature, but also the gas levels as well, in terms of if there's too much CO2 or not enough oxygen. And of course, there's other components like barometers and so on to help with that. There's also, with the gases being able to be pressurized inside a compartment, and there potentially being a large kind of delta pressure between inside a compartment and the outside, such as if we opened this space shuttle's door, for example. We're not going to in this video because we actually have a pressure venting system to equalize pressure before we open the door to exit this craft. But if we did just open it or we release the door, then there is a force that's applied. You get kind of sucked out of or through a door if there's a delta pressure. And that, of course, happens not just in space, but in submarines and so on
there
as
you
well.
go. Good.
There's also a new seat coming. It's the kind of the space backpack seat. It's kind of like you might have on a spacewalk. They've got those, I can't remember the name of them, those backpacks that the astronauts wear. And that's got it's a regular seat, except of course that it's quite compact, and you kind of sit in it in a standing position with your arms rested on the controls. And the idea there is that you can make a spacewalking kit. But I imagine there's quite a lot of other uses players are going to come up with that. You can see we're using the RTS system here just to fine control this rocket into position. We're just trying to land it as near to the station as possible. Probably too near to be safe, but we've managed to control it. We've also obviously got the gravity system here, so I think on space, I think it's more or less the gravity you get on the moon in real life. I think it's 0.6 or something, 0.6 Gs, so 60% gravity. And of course, as you lift up from the moon, gravity reduces, and of course, as you descend to Earth, gravity increases.
You can now
but
fake
of course,
the moon landing all over again.
It's all relative, of course. It's the effect of gravity that's changing. But if you want to go into a geostationary orbit, you can. There is like an altitude, I think it's around 300 kilometers, where your the effect of gravity is neutralized by the centrifugal effect of the of orbiting the Earth at a geostationary speed. And then, of course, you've got the characters do have a little bit of steering as well, and this is a DLC feature, only really
Didn't
works
they
in
kind of got
space.
sucked
But
out right there when they
obviously
opened it
got
up? I assume they had
little bit
air
of steering
inside there.
in the air. Obviously, that's not entirely accurate for space, but it's just making the game more comfortable and easier to play. So players aren't necessarily floating off into the nothingness of space.
I missed
constantly.
it. Okay, cool.
Let's see what else we've got on this list. We've got some more minor things, but I'll just mention them as we go through. We've revised the sunrise and sunset sliders. They're now separated into day length and night length, and that was a mechanical change because we've changed how the sun and night system works internally in the engine. It's not obvious as a player, but that's been reworked in order to allow the DLC to work in terms of the transitions into space and so on. We've also improved our jet and rocket particle rendering. You'll certainly notice that the liquid fuel jets do not produce a trail. I'm not 100% sure we finalised our jet engine particle trail changes there, but we might be making changes to the jet engines too, because that's obviously a very popular and frequent request. And we do like to help players with those requests where we can see. And we've also got new rocket workbenches. So these are workbenches on Earth, and they're different shapes. So you're familiar with the different workbenches you currently get in Stormworks. There's just some preset sizes. We've added a new preset size, which is a big, tall one, and they're found on the landing pads. So it's the new space center in the Sawyer Isles, and then if you have the Arid DLC, there's the existing space center in the Arid DLC, which also has this workbench on the launch pad itself. So yeah, you can see there was some particles that are emitted that just kind of graphically show like the fluid transitioning and pressure equalizing. And actually, if you look, there's kind of some force that gets applied as we get pushed around a little bit here. As the particles are open and the pressure equalizes, you get pushed around a bit, and there's not a lot of delta pressure, but there's still some air to move around as these doors open.
I kind of hope they were going to use the wind particle kind of thing. That would have been cool.
The vehicle groups, we recently mentioned this in a announcement. When a vehicle spawns, this is kind of an internal engine change, but it's very important for space. Previously, it did cause some issues for players, although it wasn't a very frequent problem. But if you spawn a vehicle and it's got different parts that you see here, I'm going to get ejected through that and we've made a big mistake here. We've accidentally left the door open, and it's ejected all the gas, and we've left all the doors open, so all the air is escaping, but Beginner's going to run through there now, and he's going to close the door for us so we can get back to the because I can't walk there. I'm trying to walk in that direction, but I'm getting pushed back. Yeah, we've got the vehicle groups, and this just allows us to treat two parts of a vehicle that aren't related to each other as separate vehicles. And this is super useful for, if you're ejecting your solid rocket boosters over the Earth and then traveling all the way over to the moon. It basically didn't work. It caused some other problems as well, just in the base game. So that will be an improvement for everyone, but it's most noticeable with the problems that solved in space. But it's just generally, I quite like that change. It does mean that the weapons DLC explosions do now correctly destroy missiles in the way you kind of expect them to get despawned as they detonate and so on. So for me, that's quite nice.
They traveled to the moon. They went to space and went to the moon. Also, so once you get off the flat map, you go into space.
Changed the actual way that the game tiles work in the world. You now wrap and tile around. So when you reach the edge of the world, you actually wrap and tile back to the other side of the world.
So you now travel around the world,
carry on traveling in the same direction continuously, and
no loading screens.
And that happens on the Earth and also on the moon. So the new moon.
It's just like my DLC video, my April Fool's joke video.
So as you
smooth transitions,
as you travel, it'll tile seamlessly across, and you should hopefully not notice the transitions. But yeah, so you would obviously see on the map as you
wrap
around, you just get moved on the map to the other border. But the actual gameplay is, again, it's a seamless thing.
I mean, everything based around lag is based around vehicles in the world. So less vehicles in the world, you're not going to get that much lag.
Some new communication parts. We've got directional communication, and this is obviously very useful for communicating between the Earth and the Moon and just large distances
Oh,
in
what's
space. We've
that?
got communication dishes, and these
Do they
directional
lag?
dish antennas have a focal direction and a focal point, so they're
Oh,
going
look,
to
there's our
aim towards a
Stormworks
specific
planet.
position and transmit to that. And they've got quite a narrow field of vision,
I hope they
but
swap
you get
texture
that
on it
set up,
from a distance. That would be
and
nice.
if you're aiming towards a dish, even if it's very far away, that's still going to work. So here we have got
Armageddon.
our
Awesome.
rover set
Yeah,
up,
make a
and this is
meteor.
uh, like a remote control operated rover here. So we're going to start traveling through the night. And the directional communication has a huge range. So it's useful again on the surface, but the traveling through air is not as efficient. You've got less transmission distance
Oh,
if you're
look, we got
transmitting through
a
air
map for
as
the moon
opposed to transmitting
with
through
some names on
space.
there.
If you're transmitting directly up, then you only have to transmit through the air that's between you and the top of the atmosphere. Obviously, once you're in space, the range is a lot higher on all of the radio kit, but particularly the directional antennas. But it just means you can set up your antenna. You can aim it at the moon. You can aim it at your lunar base. You can aim it at another spacecraft, and you can also use the antennas to track positions of stuff. If something's emitting a signal, you can aim your antenna at it and track the signal strength and so on. We've also got new. I was talking about the gas and liquid stuff. I think we've already talked about some of the other components. We've got the barometer, we've got the
Can I say
relief
anything about
valve, we've
weapons
also
in
got new
space?
meters.
Will they function?
We're also adding some new tanks, some new pre-made tanks that are kind of compressed cylinder style ones. It's a cosmetic thing. All of the tanks can contain compressed
What is
fluids
that?
and gases. You've also got the oh yeah, you can see here this is a bug. I think we fixed this today,
Oh,
but it was
bug.
in a pre-recorded video yesterday. It's just
Oh.
an issue with the flares. Just as we're changing some of the rendering stuff and adding some new rendering stuff in the
Yeah.
DLC, but that is of course
Blue, hey, you're here,
going to be
Blue.
fixed. I think it already is fixed, but that bug will disappear off screen in a few
Make sure you're in the
seconds.
Discord, Blue. We'll talk after this.
And there's new solid propellant fuel as well. So as solid rocket boosters now spawn with solid fuel propellant, a similar way to the way you kind of got fluid fuel storage, like you've got petrol storage and so on the workbenches. You now can store solid propellant as well, and they can be manufactured in similar ways to like the ingots, the metal ingots and so on. They can be refined with water and aluminium to produce solid rocket fuel. So if you're playing Korea, there's a new resource introduced there as well. I've also, of course, got lots of add-on lure, and there's a bit of stuff there that's been useful for us as well for creating new missions related to space. And yeah, I've got some extra notes at the bottom there, but I'll go through those later. So yeah, we've got the new atmosphere and space in the space DLC. We've got the liquid fuel rockets, we've got electrolysis. There's obviously the new moon biome as well. That's obviously positioned
So it's
actually
only
on
the
the
moon,
moon with a continuous transition from Earth to moon through space and so on. We've got the new RCS thrusters, the gyroscopic actuators, the astronomy sensors, and of course the new space missions. So yeah, I think I've talked for quite a while there, but let's have a look at the chat and I'll take some questions. And I
Why didn't
might
I ask?
also
Didn't I ask
just
me?
click live on the store page now. And once I've done that, I can kindly ask players to consider wishlisting, but I need to make the page live first. So let me just see if I can do that.
Oops. Oh, having fun.
Awesome. I
Oops.
will
Can't
drop
spell.
the
Dollars.
link to the store page in the chat if you would kindly wishlist. It does make a big difference with the Valve's algorithms and so on for their own marketing. Cool. Well, let's have a look at some chat and some questions.
Yeah, mine's gone already.
On the screen right now, let's see where am I up to. So we're still traveling. It's night time. You'll see me get my night vision out every now and again, and we're just following this canyon edge. And our plan is that we want to go over to the caves. Our moon rover is very, very slow. But that's actually quite sensible because, of course, yeah, if we turn
No, not much
the
about
vehicle
ion
over,
engines.
then we're going to be a bit stuck. We don't want to have to walk back, so we're just taking
So
it easy.
he said in the
And
borders of the
enjoying
maps
the
they
lunar
wrap around
landscape.
now,
When
so
we get over
it
there,
will
you'll
wrap you
see
back
a
to the
little
other
bit of a
side.
setup and some preset structures over there to help us get down into the caves. And this is stuff we made ourselves
No,
for
no,
the
it
video.
wraps.
It's
It wraps.
had a little bit of
Or
fun. You can see
teleports you, I
from
guess.
time to time I'm just using the night vision kit, but it's very obviously the shadows are very dark on the moon, as you would expect. There's no atmosphere to bounce the light back, so that's how you kind of get this kind of like this lunar look kind of thing, this moon look, is that the shadows are just very, very dark. There's no blue sky above to soften the lighting. Right, let's have a look. What have we got here?
Oh boy, here he goes.
Will we be getting pressurized fluids in the update next week? The pressurized fluids are coming at the same time as this DLC.
Oh, they're
So
not going to test it.
the
Oh,
benefit for there is that we're only changing the game once. And a lot of these changes are quite deep in. So it's not a long time to wait. I think we said, well,
yeah, Blake, for
I don't
sure.
want to start saying that again if it's wrong, but it's the 12th
I
of
think they
October,
missed an
so
opportunity
it's
to
6, 7, 8 weeks away,
highlight
somewhere
that
around
in the trailer. That would be a big thing to add to
Wow,
the DLC, like to show
this
submarines
someone
and
is spamming
space.
will weapons work in
They're
space.
basically almost the same
Yes,
thing,
of
right?
course,
Except opposite,
weapons will
kind
work
of,
in space.
sort of.
The ramifications of weaponizing space, well, let's not get too into that, but yes, you can weaponize space if you so wish. And yes, I mean, I think the nice thing about space in Stormworks is that you're taking all of the stuff that's already in Stormworks into space. I think when we were planning this update, I think we were mindful of, do we want to
Do
do
this 500
space in
times.
Stormworks? I think ultimately we kind of decided yes, because while there's other space games out there and
Right,
a
did it
lot of
delete
them
my
are very,
thing, or
very
did it just
good,
vanish? Down there.
if your favorite style of building is the Stormworks style of building,
It disappeared.
then the space vehicles are very, very good. And
I'll just
there's
wait.
this kind of, I guess, quite mechanical way of building in Stormworks that just means you're solving these design problems in a way that you wouldn't necessarily get in every other space game. So there is a little bit of a unique take on space. But yeah, the nice thing is that all this other
Did you guys ever play
parts of
Minecraft
Stormworks
Space Mod?
is
It's kind of cool.
cross-compatible, so all the existing systems that we've got, we don't have any train lines on
Reminds
the
me of
moon,
that.
but it's the other stuff, like obviously we've got all the compartment stuff, we've got the communication stuff, we've got the electrics,
Right, that's
we've
what it
got
was, huh?
the
Yeah,
fuels and
Galactic
so
Craft.
on. It's all gonna work as you expect, and a lot of it is just derived
Blue
as
Knight,
well,
did you
where
see
you've
it?
got the
Blue, did you see it?
regular engines need air, for example. We got to take your air with you because there's no air in space, and that's just already a mechanic in the game, is that it was already just
Blue,
pulling
did you
the
see
air
your
out the
name on the
atmosphere.
planet?
And when there's no air in the atmosphere, the engines aren't going to work the same unless you've plugged them into a compressed
Yeah,
gas cylinder
you're on the map. Blue Knight.
to power those engines. But yeah, you're going to be more reliable on electric power, but that's all in there already. So it's very, very familiar set of mechanics, and you've got all your first person equipment.
Yeah,
And
Blake,
all
this
your
is
other
big thing
components.
for the
But yes,
YouTube community,
the weapons
because you
DLC
know
and the space
Komodo's going to
DLC
be
will be
blasting
compatible.
off, and that gives them sales. So you're going to get a lot of kids in
Jesus.
space.
Okay, we're going to
Kids in
try and
space!
I'll
And,
just ask someone for some help.
of course, Frantic and myself are idiots, so we should have some fun.
So that everyone doesn't
Blue
feel
Knight opening,
like
is that what
they
it's
just
called?
have to the spam. So with NPCs, It's chat, Jesus. I can barely read it. I can't read it. With the NPCs, they're affected by they consume NPCs and animals consume oxygen now. They produce CO2. So if you've got NPCs in a sealed compartment, they will use up that oxygen, they'll use the CO2. And likewise, if there is none because they're in a vacuum, then they're going to take pressure damage. They're going to obviously suffocate, and then they'll take damage and die that way. So there's that level of mechanic is in there, and of course there's more people in a spacecraft, the quicker the oxygen and CO2 will
What
get
about
used up.
submarines?
I think we've set it up as about 5 times the rate of real life, and that's I think to reflect that it's a lot easier to get to the moon. We've reduced the distance dramatically, and so on.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Right, let's see.
You are a man of true
Scrolling,
knowledge.
yeah, scrolling kind of works. Kind of helps me read it. Jesus.
I can't even see my message. Where'd it go? Did they ban me from here already?
How am I going to read this?
I don't know. It's just not there.
So I think people have asked about square pyramids. I think yeah, we're expecting this to be asked. I think I'm sure there's a lot of
Dude, that looks like the helmet that I faked
a lot of
on the
great feature
DLC.
requests and just
How funny.
Questions about.
And that was like a
feature
2D image that I
Square
pulled up
Pyramid's a
on
great one.
Google search
It's been
and
asked for a
slapped on
long
the
time. It is a
character.
popular request. And that
Tell me what to
obviously
type into.
does put it in standing to be considered. It's obviously a bit of a meme request at the moment. Like it's
There you are, Blue Knight opening right there. You
Despite
see it?
nothing
Blue?
has changed. You know, it's always been a request, but suddenly the rate of requests has gone up massively. I think driven by memes. Which while we enjoy seeing that stuff and we enjoy the the community and the interest around the game,
Nice.
that doesn't affect development decisions. We've obviously got to be fair to players and consider the actual unique player needs that we're trying to meet, and we just want to make all players happy. But it's definitely something we make sure we don't do is just listen to whoever screams the loudest. We make sure that we're measuring people's feedback and so on. There's also sales, which is another frequent request. We did look at it. We kind of even started working on that, and it kind of got paused. So it's not that it's never going to happen for sales, but at the moment we
don't need sales, we need sales.
Such a popular
So we're doing
request,
space.
but
That'll get you sales.
It's difficult, and I think it's just because of how our hydrodynamics
Exactly,
work.
Charlie.
We're worried that we'll add sales and the mechanics. It will be a terrible sailing game because the physics and the mechanics won't be balanced in the way that you would want for a sailing game. So,
nothing about fishing.
So at the moment, sales paused. Fishing is something we're very, very interested in.
There we go.
454 did a great video. That really broke it down.
Wow, he shouted out a YouTuber for once. 454 SS.
Give that a lot of credit because there's nothing we love more than when a player kind of takes responsibility for an idea and works through it and is really specific about exactly what they mean when they're making their request. It makes it really easy for us to imagine, can it be done, can it not be done? Because I think a lot of the time with
I guess my
requests were
DLC videos were inspiration
about developing the feature and then it actually not being quite how the players imagined, and there being disappointment there, because that's the last thing we want to do. I think when players are really specific and clear about exactly what their level of expectation would be, that makes it super easy for us. So I think if you are fishing, you can thank 454 for making that a lot more likely. But yeah, that's something we're thinking about as well.
Not JSI.
Another very
454,
very
but not JSI,
request.
Right?
Obviously,
come on, man.
as
this
we
is
said
where I get pissy
recently,
with him.
Just a big area of our focus is just the fixes and the improvements. We want the game to be as robust as possible. We want to get through the backlog and just make the game as solid as possible. As a player, it can be difficult to measure that stuff, but please do let me show you we have made huge progress in the last year, because we've just been a lot more focused on clearing up the bugs list, and we have been watching the issue tracker, and we have been seeing the issues, number of issues go down steadily, and the severity of issues go down as well, to the point where there's certainly plenty to do, and there are some serious issues, but I think a lot of the stuff that we haven't done are less major than stuff that we've been working on in the past. Someone asks, will there be asteroids? There is no plan for asteroids at the moment. Yeah, I mean, asteroids would be cool. We haven't added them yet. I don't think there will be asteroids, no. Someone asks, will Stormwolves get a space helmet? Oh, I would love that. If you want to take Stormwolves to space, you're gonna have to keep him in the spacecraft and have some docking so that he can live in the compressed compartments, because there is no dog spacesuit, I'm afraid. Is there a map/orbital view to see where you are currently on a trajectory to? So there is not. I imagine someone will make something on the workshop. So I think I'll just quickly cover the limitations of the space DLC. I'll put these in the announcement in a bit more detail, because it's obviously very important, I guess, to let players know exactly what they are and aren't getting in the update, in the DLC.
Can we take fish to
so
space?
There are some limitations. I would say the main one,
or sharks,
is our approach.
That might be fun.
Our approach to 3D space. I've
Charlie.
discussed the gravity
Are
simulation
you my Charlie?
so on. When you go into space, you are traveling through 3D space, but
are you my
many
lizard,
players
Charlie?
know, and actually, as some people have very rightly pointed out in the community, they've said no, space DLC can't happen because the Stormworks world is flat.
So everybody, Charlizard's here. He's been working his ass off on the
world now
Convoy add-on.
So it's kind of spherical in the terms that you can wrap around, but it's not entirely spherical. You know, it's still a square.
Blue. Let's do it.
It's still square. It's still rectangular. It's not a sphere. And as you travel up from that world, you end up leaving the globe behind. But then you descend back down onto Earth, and you're going to descend onto that square tile. And it's likewise
Why
for
is
the moon,
he
as you
throwing the buggy off
moon.
the edge?
Obviously, 900 square kilometers is a big area, but the real moon is a lot bigger than that. You can see, I'll just take us quickly to the video here. I'm having a great time here. We made this
or like Wing Commander
crane
battles,
system
where
here.
it's like
it's not a
submarines
static
in space.
creation. I don't think it's actually just
The
counterbalanced.
movie I was talking about, the crappy
and
movie, the really bad movie.
We're anchoring ourselves over, and yeah, this is the first time we actually used this. So the descent is going to be painfully slow, but we will get to the bottom eventually. But yeah, we're gonna now descend. You can see the cave system below a little bit. The cave system is pretty huge.
And these hardcore
cracks in the ground
that
give you a view into the spaces below. So yeah, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the spherical stuff. So yeah, it's the space simulation does work, but you don't have a 6 degree of freedom character controller. So when you go into space, you can still obviously pivot around the up axis and look around and look up, but you can't, for example, tilt and hang upside down in first person controls. Obviously it's the same as Stormworks, where if you're in a seat, then you've got the full 6 degrees of freedom as you move with the vehicle. When you get out of that seat, you're going to reorientate into the normal direction, and that's I think there's just a couple of things here which are just left over from not making this as a space game when originally, you know, this is added on later. We've defeated quite a lot of the technical limitations, but you can see there I'm dropping a chem light down into the cave, and it just falls forever. It's a long way down.
The
So
dev
yeah,
of
the 6 degrees of
Starship
freedom
Evo
stuff.
contacted me
In some ways,
and gave me
it's
some
fine.
keys
You
to
know,
give
it
away.
helps you actually
Should I do
orientate yourself
a
and navigate
Stormworks
a little
Space
bit. It
DLC
helps you
giveaway
kind of
for
understand where you are and
another
not
game?
get too turned around in space, which is quite easy to do. You know, because you are just a big load of black nothingness. But just up front, that there is no 6 degrees of freedom character controller there. In terms of the 3D space, your journey to the moon does make sense in kind of a quantum space kind of sense. I'll try and explain that a little bit more in the announcement.
Yeah, I'll have to
But
do a video on that.
when you're
Starship Evo.
traveling,
Give away
you can
some
travel
keys.
off into the infiniteness of space. You can go there. You can also obviously go to the moon. You can go back to the Earth, but you can't, for example, go around the backside of the moon. We've kind of reorientated the world into kind of like the direction of like the gravitational forces, and that's how our space simulation works. I think for the vast majority of players, you just wouldn't notice. It just kind of makes sense. But I think
Walker, the
if
way
you're
it works
obviously,
is
we do have the
someone did like
astronomy sensor as well to
an
display
add-on
or to give you
that
that
kind
kind of
of
information. So in terms
let
of
you
making a
see
display
the
to
map as
display
a
your
sphere. So I think they're doing a similar thing
positioning,
where they've allowed
that
you
should
to
be
transition off the
reasonably
map
straightforward to do.
into a space area, turn the map
The
into a
astronomy sensor
sphere,
just gives you your
and
three
then you can
coordinates, your
reach
kind of
another planet
X, Y, and Z
that's another flat
coordinates.
map.
It's not
Something
like a
like that.
GPS coordinate.
There is no
It's
loading
anchored
screens,
to
so
the
you're on the
Earth and the
same
moon, and
whatever
it tells you if
3D
you're on the
space,
Earth
I
or if you're on
think.
the moon or where you are in between in 3 dimensions. And will submarines behave similarly also with compartments? Yes, submarines
Here we
will
go.
behave in
Gonna
a
break the
similar way,
convoy,
I guess,
Charlie.
to before, in terms of you've got your, you know, your sealed volumes. You're able to go under the water. You obviously will now have pressure within your submarines.
Hey,
Some of
Char.
the new compressed
Charlie, did
gases
they ever
stuff is going
contact
to be a
you
big
about the
improvement there.
fishing
We
DLC?
haven't. I mean, we've done
Because I mean,
so
they said
much work on this
454
compressed gases
really,
stuff. It is quite a
showed
big
how it should be
rework,
done.
but
Did they ever
we've just
contact
really
you and
been quite
got some
lucky that
input?
we can do a lot of
Just
it
curious.
and it not really affect a lot of creations. I suppose the fact that you couldn't put gases inside sealed compartments before meant that us
That's me being
adding
sarcastic.
that
Just FYI.
isn't weird. It means it doesn't really conflict too much. But yeah, you can potentially blow your ballast by releasing compressed gases into a compartment with liquid in, for example. And if you're you can have moon pools as well. Obviously, your moon pool is going to be highly pressurized as it goes down. And that stuff kind of works as you'd expect.
Kind of works.
The air will compress, the pressure will equalize through any compartment door and so on. Yeah, that's if anything makes the mechanics for
Fresh
submarines
depth?
better and more realistic.
Probably not, right?
You said something about getting oxygen through electricity. Will this work on subs to extract oxygen from water? So the answer is yes. You can use electrolysis to separate water into
cool.
oxygen and hydrogen. The way that works is similar to a real electrolysis setup, i.e. you're putting water in and you've got 2 taps coming out, and it does separate the oxygen from the hydrogen as well, so it's not just a mix. So you can then discard the hydrogen and just keep the oxygen, use that to repopulate the air inside your submarine as well. Will there be liquid gas driven propellers? I think
No?
this is coming down to the turbo slash turbocharger slash what's the other word? There's 2 things that are really similar but distinctly mechanically different, aren't there? There's the turbocharger and the other impeller style thing. The liquid gas driven impellers, I think probably not. The problem is that there's a kind of a fundamental a problem for us converting the energy of compressed gas from one state to another state. It's not impossible that could happen in the future, but that's not going to happen with this update. But yeah, I think we remain open to loads of ideas. And yeah, I would just highlight we are working on next year's major update, first major update already. We're well into that, but there's going to be more stuff for next year that we haven't started working on yet. So
Efficient
we're
space.
always looking to the
Biba.
community
Good idea.
to drive those decisions, and I think certainly
Space
there's
whales.
been the great posts recently. We saw the post on Reddit with all the theories about what this DLC was going to be, and there was the example.
Yeah, make sure you don't mention me, Deltars. Make sure you don't mention me.
Going back to 2020. And I think there was polls before there, and the interesting thing is that we have done the majority of stuff on that poll. When we put that poll up, we really never, it was 2020. We didn't really think we'd do it all. We thought we'd just do the first few bits and see where it took, and the list would change. But actually, it's remained fairly true, and we've actually set out in 2020 of these things we might like to do, and we didn't think we'd actually do them all, but we've certainly done the majority of them, which is quite interesting. So yeah, we're continuing our plans forward, but I mean, I think a general strategy has been for us to just focus a little bit more on quality and
think of this as baby steps for space,
adding new features. But then we are still adding new features. This is a great example of where we've added a load of new mechanics, and yeah, we're very excited to be doing so. So yes, liquid gas-driven propellers could happen. It's on the suggested features, but we haven't scheduled or planned to do that yet, as is a common answer from me. What's the new communications? Could we make satellites that send TV or radio signals? So exactly right. The new communication dishes, obviously you've got the existing antennas, which are kind of omnidirectional. They just transmit in all directions. With the satellite dishes, they're a directional antenna, so they're strong in only a very narrow field of view. And yes, you can have satellite dishes talk to satellite dishes. You can have satellite dishes talk to antennas, and you can have everything in between. So presumably,
yeah, Lucy, now
set up your satellite dish.
They should be contacting you, space builders,
your satellite
and having you guys build the templates for the DLC. Have it. The presets.
You kind of
have a nice little rocket system. Nothing too crazy, but introductory.
Directional antennas, or you can just use one.
What's that word? Introductory. I don't know what the word is. So introduction vehicles. I don't know.
A satellite.
I've lost it, but you get the idea. So that you guys, they have new players have something to start with, and it's built by you guys that build space stuff.
It's not too much,
and really enjoy it and like what you're doing.
The distance going through the air isn't that far, so what you find is that yes, you can basically set up your satellite communication systems, and you can even
introductory.
Put your satellites in geostationary
introductory.
As well, so
that's
you
what
can get the geostationary positioning and aim your antenna directly at a geostationary position, and then have a constant signal. Otherwise, if you've got a lower orbit, then your satellites, in order to
I wish we could broadcast audio
travel horizontally
from a third-party app into the game.
Benefit from the centrifugal effect in order to give it some extra lift to keep its altitude even at higher altitudes of orbit. If that's the case, then you'll have to obviously track it with your antenna, or otherwise have your satellite tracking the ground position. It's up to you, but yeah, you got some cool mechanics.
You could do submarines in space, and, just third
got the satellite communication,
third-party vision, and you just have to use monitors to
or you can just
try to shoot each other
directly to the moon as well. Can we please get flexible autocannon belts? A very, very common request, happened for a long time.
Okay, let's hear this one.
There's a few reasons we don't really want to get too into that. I think one is that it's quite physics driven.
No, it's not, dude. No, it's not.
We don't really want to be adding lots of a belt of chains.
I can't stand Deltars when he does this crap.
It's going to be a performance impact there.
No, it's not, dude. It could be as simple as a node-based block.
As well, is it going to clip through walls and so on?
Just make it node-based.
It's something we'll continue to consider, but it might just be beyond the scope of what we were trying to do there. I think been a very, very long ride down on this crane descent.
What about mods? Should we talk about mods? If you don't want to do it, let somebody else do it.
Do meteors work in space still? I don't think so. /I
if they ever do fishing, do you think they'll do hunger?
Because I'm not sure.
I don't know. That'd be cool
Probably
though.
not. Let's leave it there. If
But
they do,
like
that'd be
a
a nice surprise. But
hunger that
I
you can
don't think they do.
change, not that you eat every 15
Are
minutes. I
there
hate those
enemy
games.
AI in space? Uh, no, there isn't. There is no enemy AI in space. Um, we've not got plans to do one. That would be, yeah. I mean, oh, that would be cool. I'm,
Where's the Tesla?
yeah.
That's
I mean, I
funny.
do like that idea. There's the Apple TV Originals TV show, isn't there? I forgot what it's called. I watched an episode last night. It's great, where there's kind of like the weaponization of space, and there's the military action on the moon. It's awesome.
Yeah, they do look
I'd love a
longer,
bit of
don't they?
that.
I think they might
But
be.
yeah, I mean, um, we got loads of stuff on the task board that we'd like to do, but when that's not going to be in for the release. But that said, fundamentally, it's reasonably straightforward for someone to do it and put it on the workshop or design their own or whatever. I don't think that's going to be part
For
of
all
our DLC,
mankind.
though.
Like I said, he's been
Can you
talking
put
about space
satellites
for
or a
every
space
Q&A.
station in orbit? So that's definitely a yes.
Ooh, space station orbit. That sounds cool.
You can, yeah, you can just
I know
put
the
your
orbit's going to be
satellite
wanky or
or your
wonky.
space station or
Friend doesn't
elements of a
like it when I
space
say
station or
wanky, but
parts of a
wonky.
satellite. You can stick them on your rocket. You can push them into space just like in real life.
Where's the next one?
Once
Can
they're
we have
at
a bigger
the
build
desired
space so we can build
location,
the
you can position
Enterprise?
you can position them at the right altitude, at the right location. Then, of course, you can get them into a geostationary position, and
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
then yeah, you can then take up more parts and assemble them. You've got all the
SS13?
existing connectors, you've got the
I don't know
docking
that one.
doors, you've got the turret rings, you've got all this cool stuff that's going to be really useful for making space stations and satellites and
The
stuff.
turret rings. Does anybody use those? This might actually be
Yeah,
something
I
they
mean,
can be used for
honestly,
sure.
I'm really excited to see. I think the workshop creations there are just going to be crazy cool. And yeah, of course, we've made the bigger the 4x4 solar panels too, so that'll make it a bit easier to do those parts. I imagine you've kind of got
You
some
gonna make
maximum
Voyager
payload
Blue
that
Arrow?
you can move in one go, so you'll probably have to assemble a little bit in orbit in space, but for me that just makes it better. That's I can't wait to see what players make.
Can we have
There
aliens
is also
for
some
Halloween?
newer support
The aliens
for
update
spawning stuff in
from
space
the
as
movie
well.
Aliens?
So you can
Like the
make your
zombies,
add-ons
where
that
they just get
spawn
stuck on
vehicles in
stuff?
space as well, and that's something we've been looking at doing because we obviously want to do our space missions that we're still working on. Can you travel to the sun? That's a no. You can't travel to the sun. It's too far away. And no, you can't. You can just travel into space. You can travel into the nothingness of space, but there's only two places you can go. One is Earth and one is the moon.
Do you get
or
better frame
the
rate in
nothingness
space?
of
Someone
space,
asked
but there's
that.
nothing
Quick.
there. Will there be infrared cameras? FLIR cameras still planned? I not planning on it at the moment. I think that might be a
Multiplayer
stretch too
space
far.
station game.
I think that might be something we plan for the
RPG.
next
Huh.
game. Yeah, I don't think we're planning on doing infrared cameras at the moment. It was on the poll from years and years ago. I do like the idea, but is it useful enough? Is it core enough to the game for us to do it at this point? I don't know. It's probably going to take quite a lot of time. We could probably use that time better. It's probably going to be quite difficult to do in Stormworks, so
can't even see it.
probably not. But
Like the
you know, everything's a possibility.
I can't read this
And
chat.
as we get more stuff,
I wonder if it would be
done,
better if he did
does
it on
open up resources to
YouTube,
check out
because
stuff like that. So
it doesn't
I
look
don't
like they have
know,
any
but not
controls for
immediately.
the Steam chat.
How many and what creator-named locations have you made?
They could probably
So
make
yeah,
money
you'll see
too.
on the
People would
map
do super
there
chats to
are
get their
quite a
question
few.
answered.
Yeah, obviously we do enjoy recognizing the workshop creators. It's something that I get a huge amount of joy from. Is checking out the workshop.
I'm still waiting for them to
and seeing all
remove
the
my name from the
incredible
Arctic.
creations that are the player creations.
We
are
hate
just
him.
Incredibly good.
Remove his name from the
skill
train
of
station.
design and the time invested is really, really impressive.
Oh, no one's asked how much, huh?
And we do like to recognize players where we can. It's a shame we can't recognize them all. There is a huge number of players.
Someone's asking right now,
So
what's
we
the price of
have
DLC?
been,
See, they thought what I
trying
just
to
thought.
focus on players with the I think the most subscribers or
Well,
most
thank you,
subscribers within
Lorenzo.
a certain amount of time.
They put me all by
And
myself,
obviously, this is something
all out there.
we've named the
They
locations a
secluded
while
me.
ago as well, so
It's
it's
like they
not
can't hear
necessarily
me.
as of today. But
They can't hear me
we did
yelling from
produce
the
a
Arctic.
list. Obviously, there's some incredible player creations in the trailer that we showed earlier. There's and yeah, we're keen to just recognise as many players as we can. So we have recognised
Char
quite a
Lizard
lot.
train
There's some
stop. Is that in the
craters,
area,
there's some
Char?
canyons, there's some caves, and there's lots of new locations.
But he has
named
a
after
lighthouse.
players.
Come on, Lorenzo. That's pretty
So
cool
yeah,
to have a
there will
lighthouse.
be a new round, as we have previously done with the Arid DLC as well. There's a lot of players being name dropped on locations and stuff.
I like where he's at right there, like the edge right there.
Let's have a look.
I can't really tell where they're at, but it looks cool.
Will planes efficiently affected with high altitudes?
Ooh, good question.
So yes, this is actually something that happens. The aerodynamics does change as you go higher. The air gets thinner. And so effectively the forces, the drag, but also the lift is changed. It is reduced as you go higher with higher altitude.
Now, if Thales was here, he'd say
So yeah, that is something that happens.
they would probably have to thin out a lot earlier,
it does affect
right?
aerodynamics.
To make it proper in
Can we mine
Stormworks.
on the moon space? We
So
haven't
that your
placed
engines
any
lose power a lot,
resources on the
I think.
moon at the moment.
But
So
Thales
there's
is
no
not here to
resources
answer that question.
to mine on the moon. Should you be able to mine helium-3? I don't know. It would be cool. I think we'd need a new resource, wouldn't it? You kind of want a new resource that you can't get on Earth. And then what would we want to do? We'd also, I don't know, I guess we could just put uranium on the moon. You could refine uranium on the moon and use it as a power source, perhaps. I don't know. We haven't really put too much thought into that. So that's probably not going to be part of the release, I would say. I don't think you are going to have any mineable resources on the moon. Player asks, is the support for subfault of a vehicle saving planned? So this is such a popular one. I think it is feasible. I'd like to see it happen at some point. We don't have it planned or scheduled. We certainly don't have a date for it.
I don't understand the question. What was it?
So we'll see if and when that happens. It's not currently planned. I know it's my answer for a lot of this stuff. It's just the truth. We do plan quite a bit of stuff. We've planned the next kind of 4 months of work or so. There's obviously slots for new bugs to go in. If we've created new bugs, then
you know how many submarines I have, Char? Of the same one?
Typically, we're planning
just because I changed something and I don't want to break it, so I just save another version.
4 months. And beyond that, we don't know what's happened because we haven't.
Well, Char, you didn't answer my question. Have they contacted you about fishing?
Price and when is the release date? So the release date is October the 12th, and the price is the same as the other DLCs, $10.
$10.
Will lasers be able to measure
He's saying
distances
$10
from the Earth to the moon? I think there's a maximum distance on lasers, and I think it is. It used to be 2 kilometers. Did we change it? I think we might have upped it.
So $10 it is, and you guys were right.
No, basically,
36% said $10.
On laser
you win.
Distance measuring, and it's a lot less than the distance from the Earth to the moon. So no, you won't be able to use those, but you will want to use lasers for distance detection and so on, because obviously you don't have GPS systems and a bunch of other sensors that work on the Earth. I don't think altimeters work on the moon, for example. Obviously, that's like an air pressure thing. A lot of the stuff that you would normally work on the Earth that you might just assume is going to work, actually, when you think about it, it doesn't. Someone's just told me it's 4 kilometers at the moment for lasers. So yeah, it's your maximum distance for lasers 4 kilometers. So yeah, you'll want to use lasers for measuring your distance to the ground and so on. And you have to be a bit creative with your navigation stuff. But as I said, we are introducing the new astronomy sensor, which will be fundamentally very useful for figuring out.
Sebastian's and all those guys are going to be working on weapon systems that go into space and come back down and kill you.
Let's have a look. How does the moon map work with the normal map? So there's a new tab.
It is interesting that they're not using a live version of the game at all.
Map, and then you've got all the weather layers.
So he's not like jumping into like systems in the map and showing you, or the game and showing anything
with the stuff on it, and it works just like the regular map, except it's just showing the stuff on the moon. But otherwise, yeah, it just works exactly the same. What fuel do RCS thrusters use, and will they work on Earth? RCS thrusters work with any type of gas, so any type of pressurized gas. So you can just pressurize air. It's that simple, and then they'll just use that. So they just link them up. They've got a like a fluid port on the back. You pipe them to your compressed gas container, and then you just release the compressed gas through the thruster using the thruster logic, and that's going to fire that compressed gas off. They will work on Earth, yes, but they're not particularly effective because they are only producing a very small amount of thrust. So they're not particularly useful on Earth, and they do require the space DLC to work. But they're only really useful in space, I would say. I don't really see the Earth applications being that useful, but players have proved me wrong many, many times. We're always seeing components that we never imagined could be used in a specific way being used in that way. Yeah, we will see what else they get used for. Whether they're just used as cosmetic parts, I don't know. But yeah,
let me
they do still produce a small amount of thrust on Earth as well.
There you go. That's
what kind of content can we expect to see on the moon, like mission types, resources, and such? I think with the mission types, I would expect
little video for you.
Normal mission types. I think the only thing I would say here is that they are a bit more exciting, being so logistically difficult. But it's rescue people.
Look at this! This is a smooth transition from the planet to space,
and that kind of thing. You know, the existing mission types that you would normally get is basically retrieve something, deliver something, and repair something.
There's the planet
and rescue people.
Look
However,
at this.
on
Daytime.
When the mission is in orbit at a space station or on the moon, there's a lot more involved. You've got to get there. You've got to do the operation. You've got to actually do the navigation stuff.
Right here. Transition.
And then you've got to get back again.
New features.
So it can be logistically quite difficult, and there's a lot that can obviously go wrong. Space travel is not straightforward, and it is extremely dangerous.
Oh, I got more locations in my DLC.
I think the missions potentially going to work better, but we're still working on them, so there might be more info in a future announcement on that kind of stuff.
People are going to think that this is a real trailer.
Be on Earth while the other one is on the moon. So the answer is yes, but more than that, you can have like vehicles be on the moon and on the Earth at the same time as well. Like keep alive blocks are still going to work, and so on like that. So yes, and of course you can communicate with each other using directional antennas.
Close. It's like a year off.
You can be just playing on the Earth, and players can be playing on the moon, and it's in the same game, and so on. It's all the same simulation rules as normal Stormworks. It's all one continuous simulation as well. And one player asked, "Can you replay the trailer for those who joined late? Will it be on the YouTube?" I will. I'm just going to finish this stream first. Once this stream is over, I will...
I'm probably going to get hits on that video now.
The announcement, of course,
because they did this announcement,
so in it,
that's
so
fun.
You'll be able to watch it
now people are going to be really confused
as soon as this stream ends. Of course, we will put this stream on repeat. I am recording it, so if you are watching this and it isn't now, then... it'll say pre-recorded in the bottom left, and
don't worry, Taz, I have stream sniped your stream, and it is on my channel forever, unless you claim it.
Yeah, we'll post the announcement very soon after this stream, and when we do that, that will include the trailer. How big is the rocket workbench?
Should I re-edit the trailer?
Like Saturn
I feel like I should.
And
it's fun. Not because I'm being malicious. I just enjoy it.
Now,
it's kind of fun to
quite big enough.
Put new music and make it a little bit more dramatic. I don't know. It's more fun like
that. I know workbench modding is popular. It's not a part of the stock game, and that's to do with file sizes. It just gets a bit of an issue for the game engine when the file sizes get too big that we can't guarantee it works. So in that sense, we do avoid making the workbenches too big, but it is pretty tall. Is it the same length as like the large ship workbench, but on its end? It might be bigger than that. I don't actually have that info in front of me. It is pretty big, but I think you might want to spawn your rockets in multiple pieces and assemble them, and the like, for really big stuff. If you want to make a really, really big rocket. Of course, in Stormworks, there's amazing player creations already that are space based. Even though the game doesn't support space, you've got the barge ships with the rocket reclaiming and so on. Like, that stuff's all going to be possible in the game. It's obviously not going to be easy, but it is rocket science after all. And players have already done it. There's already players who have. I think there's a few players who are into that stuff.
There's a few players, huh, Blue?
One in particular, who done the SpaceX recreations.
Not that one.
And honestly, I just find it incredible because the physics is the same as real life. So the fact that it works is amazing. There's some real maths involved. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you can reuse.
When they wrap up, we'll
potentially,
talk.
if you so wish.
If
You want to go to that level of detail. You'll obviously need a lot of vehicles in order to reclaim them and relocate them back to the launch pad. But it is possible. We added the trains, didn't we? You can spawn barge ships and so on. There's cranes on the workshop as well. Or yeah, you can just spawn everything yourself. If you want to do a really big thing, you can either reassemble it or you can set it up as a mission. Obviously these vehicles, the space vehicles, they are multiple vehicles by nature. They need to separate into stages.
There's my orbit. Look at my
as
orbit.
they take off.
I wish it looked like that.
Separate and they drop tanks as they go and stuff. So you could always.
So I'm going to talk over them for a sec, but in
assemble them as a mission file. As well.
What's the game? Oh, Starship Evo. I think.
Awesome. Well,
he's doing a 2D
quite a long video
texture swap. So as you get away from the planet, he'll swap a 2D texture map onto the planet. I hope they do that for this.
Going to
so you get like the map wrapped around the planet.
Thank you very much for everyone who's come along.
Okay, it's done.
Sorry I didn't get to your questions. The chat is absolutely mental. There is just so many messages every second. There's a lot of you turned up. Thank you so much for turning up. Really appreciate it. As a final note, we just had so much fun working on this DLC. We do hope you like it. Obviously it's not for everyone, and if it's not your thing, just don't worry about it. Stormworks is going to continue. We're going to carry on updating Stormworks, and we're very pleased just to have you a member of the community and you bought the base game. That's incredible. So yeah, don't worry about the DLC if it's not your kind of thing. But if it is, we hope it is, and we hope you'll have fun when it releases on October the 12th.
October 12th.
Yeah,
$10. He said. October 12th.
Coming.
$10.
We will catch you soon. Thank you.
And that's it. All right, I'm gonna head into the Discord. Wait a minute, I'm gonna cough. Hold on. So I'm gonna head over to the Discord here, and we'll get some of you guys in to talk. Blue, are you here? I don't see you, Blue. But any of you guys want to talk that's in the Discord right now on the stage? Just raise your hand. Oh, there you are, Blue. I'm blind. Invite to speak. Blue? Are you there? Oh, wait. Do I have it set up right? Wait, hold on. I don't think people can hear you.
That's not a problem.
Oh, wait. It's using the desktop. I think they can hear you. I lied. All right, Blue. We got some Dio. Oh, Dio's here. Dio, Blaster.
Oh, yeah.
SE. All right, Blue. So I want to get your thoughts, Blue, right off the bat, because you're a space nut. So what do you think, Blue? Give us some love here. What do you think?
I'm scared.
You're scared. Why are you scared, Blue?
I can think of many things that could go wrong.
All right, give us some. Come on. You're gonna talk.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spread propaganda or
Spread
anything.
it. Spread it. Be me. Be the endo. Spread the propa.
I'm scared about how engines would work.
They're going to be a bit cheesy,
and
I'm
RCS.
guessing? Maybe? Hey, Polly Wally got his own location. Congratulations, Polly Wally. Did you see your name on the map? That's awesome. All right, go. Blue, come on. So you think what? You think the engines aren't going to work like you expect? You think they're going to be kind of hacky?
I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. Yeah, well, Stormworks is a flat world, like the Earth as we know it.
Yeah, but they're faking the
And I don't know.
transition.
Yeah, and
So they're you're lifting off from the map that's flat, and then at some point they're swapping out that map with a sphere and hiding
so
the land, I guess. And then you're in space in this 3D world, and then they swap in the moon, and then as you get close to the moon, they swap out the moon for the flat map that is the moon. That's all they're doing. And that's why I think they're only including the moon, right? You only get the moon and you get the Stormworks Earth, whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, that's what.
So yeah, I think it's doable within the game of Stormworks as it is. I think unless they built a whole new game, this is probably the best they could get away with, which I think is good enough. I think it's going to be fun. I actually am looking forward to it because I think you're going to build some cool stuff and we can have some fun with it.
Well, guess who's not gonna have time to build anything?
Well, then fix what you got. Fix what you got, because I had a lot of fun with your rocket that time we went just up off the ground and died horribly. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
One beat, yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll be fun.
I am very scared to touch the rocket again.
Yeah.
But Gemini, maybe.
So it's okay. We got a couple of guys here. SE, what do you build? What are you into?
Oh, I am so very interested in trying to do, because they named that GPS is not going to be a thing once in space. So I'm really looking forward to trying to make my own nav system.
Okay, that sounds cool.
To be able to have some sort of GPS system in space. As some might know, I'm very much into weapon stuff. So I'm probably going to be making that mainly for guiding missiles and such. But I think it can be also quite nice for a lot of automation, especially if you're doing like a polar express between Earth and the Moon. You're most likely going to need some kind of guidance between there. But yes, I'm overwhelmed with all of the new possibilities and things I can do, we all can do. And I don't know. I feel like I'm dreaming. I did not think this day would come. I actually was working on an April Fool's space update video. But well, now it's not April Fool's anymore.
But you're excited about it then. You're excited.
Hell yeah, of course. Yeah, this is the best game update in any game throughout my life, I would say, actually.
All right. Wow, Deltars loves you. Damn. He wouldn't even say my name. He's scared of me. Okay, we got Blaster here. Blaster, what are you into?
Building engines, I guess.
Okay, so you're an engine guy. You like the ground engines, or you're interested in the space engines as well?
Both.
Both.
It could be really cool if they make like a liquid fueled rocket engine that's actually like fully buildable.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I have a feeling they're not going to touch that. They're going to keep it simple, starting off for sure.
Hey.
Yeah. They said what? They said solid rocket boosters? Did they say anything else? I wasn't really listening. I was kind of
you got liquid too.
They did say liquid? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I would hope quite a lot of things work on liquid.
Okay. And of course, we got Dio here. Dio, what are you into?
Maybe not that much space stuff, but for space, I'd probably do some Star Wars stuff. I don't know. Would be maybe cool.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars builds.
Hey,
huh?
Dio, what about V2?
No. No. I'm not going to go that direction.
What's V2?
Actually, thinking about it, V2, the German
rocket. Space rocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the German rocket. They eventually made it go to space. Actually, after World War II, I think.
Okay, we got my buddy here, Char Lizard. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Char, are you excited about the submarines? Oh, that's what I'm excited about.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't really care at all about the space stuff, but the pressure system sounds interesting for the submarines side of stuff, the compressed air bits and bobs.
What about
That's where my
fishing in
interest
space? I thought you were on that.
I love that Bibba was the one who said that in the chat. Obviously Bibba from the JSI lot.
Okay, I was okay. See, this is why Deltars. I'm going to go ahead and do a little rant. Deltars irritates the hell out of me because he talks about 454 doing a video on what fishing might be, but you built a whole damn mod that has a map with fishing lines and where fish and crabs are and this kind of thing. They haven't even talked to you, have they?
No, I've not had any contact with them. I think they kind of hold JSI
Yeah,
in a similar regard as they hold you. So
it irritates me so much. Like, it just, like, you have these community members like you guys, and you've got the guys that do weapons, and they only kind of like listen just a little bit, and then they make a DLC, and then it's lacking. So I don't know. So irritating. I have another person here, but I can't read his name. Who's the K?
Me? I'm Kathy.
Oh, Kathy. Okay, I can't see your name. It's
yeah.
cut off.
Oh, yeah. I'm from SMH.
Gotcha. And what are you excited
I was
about?
in a few of the videos actually. I usually just build ships and stuff.
So you excited about the space DLC?
Nah, not. I was pretty disappointed. I was really hoping for sails.
You wanted sails, okay.
Yeah, I love building sailing ships, but we didn't get that this time, unfortunately.
So how many of you were in, like, hoping for sails here? Anybody else besides Kathy?
Me too. I love building sailing ships as well.
Yeah, okay. So there was a lot of sail proponents.
Actually, I failed to mention it,
Yeah?
but compressed air could be really good for engines. Be right back.
That was fast. Okay, cool.
I think if I may talk, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that for a lot of the people who really enjoy a engineering challenge, like myself, the engine stuff is going to be really, really fun. But there is those who really don't like that. So I'm hoping they still keep the modular engines for those who want the simple stuff, and well, obviously have the advanced stuff for the people like that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I like you guys that build engines because I suck at them. So when I need an engine, I go in the workshop and I'm like, okay, let me find an engine that works.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I like the guys that do like specialized things. Some people just do weapons, and that's their thing. And some people do engines that you can drop into your boats or your car, and that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Hey.
We got a new guy here. It just says P. I don't know who you are. It's got the names.
Polly.
Oh, is it? Let's hear your voice.
Polly Wally. It's you can't call me Paul. Yeah.
Have I talked to you before, Paul?
German.
I don't feel like I have.
Sorry?
Have I talked to you before? I don't feel like I've
No,
had
I
to.
don't think so.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. I know you do a lot of building, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what you build. What do you build?
The Yonkers. That's not
that's
too
right.
long ago.
Okay.
And the C5, if you remember that thing.
There you go. Okay, cool. So what are you thinking about this DLC?
I think it's cool, but
But what?
yeah, I would have wished for sales more, I guess.
Sales. Okay.
Because
So sales is a big one. Now they said they were working on sales and they got stuck, it sounds like, and they just kind of said, no, let's not do it.
yeah.
So
What sales? We never mentioned sales.
What? Yeah, they did. How about solar cells?
If
Is
they
that a
get
thing?
stuck on it, what sales? That was never a thing.
I wonder if you're gonna be able to make solar cells with the new, whatever, cell
That'd be
thing.
interesting.
You could make artificial sails by just having a little invisible booster somewhere. If they don't add that.
Right. So yeah. So So most of you are wanted cells, or at least half of you wanted cells, and half of you are
Yeah.
kind of excited about the space.
Kathy with a K.
Kathy with a
Right.
K. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
Char,
what did you say?
what do you think? Is it going to break everything we worked on the submarines?
I hope not. It sounds like they probably will affect submarine stuff. Specifically, obviously, they mentioned hypoxia and CO2 buildup. So I think if we want to survive in a submarine, I think that's where the problems are going to come up. I think the machines themselves will probably work all right still, but the humans inside of them will probably not last.
Yeah.
That's detail.
Yeah. I was wondering if crush depth was a thing they added, but it doesn't sound like any kind of crushing thing was happening. Right?
No, it doesn't sound like it. I think they'd have to. That would be too much for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but compressed air
Can I
though,
ask something?
we don't have to fake it no more. Maybe. Maybe. So what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something that I wanted to rant about, but I don't remember what it was now because I got sidetracked. Oh, crap.
I could rant about something if you want.
Go ahead.
See, I I really don't understand why. I know it maybe isn't the most popular opinion, but like why space? Like there's other options for games with kind of space exploration, space building in the form of space engineers or Kerbal or anything along those lines. And I feel like they haven't really finished Stormworks as a search and rescue game.
Oh, you're one of
and
those search and rescue guys, huh?
I know. Well, call me a
kidding.
traditionalist, but that's what I kind of wanted from Stormworks. Even the kind of the combat stuff has grown on me gradually with time.
I
But,
think
He has joined the dark
I
side.
think he has my problem where he starts something, which I do, and I'm like, okay, this was fun, but now I want to try something different, and then he jumps to something else. And like Stormworks seems like that kind of development, right? Oh, build and rescue, that's fun. Oh, but what about trains? And then he doesn't finish the trains. The trains aren't done. But he's bored with them now, so he's like, oh, let's do, whatever it is, weapons or whatever, undersea crap. But nothing in Stormworks is ever like revisited and refined, right? You get it like one time.
There's nothing with much. Nothing
Give
with
him a
much
few
depth.
years, it is.
Yeah.
Like train stuff, they took them a while to revamp.
And even then, like they don't finish everything, and then people will say, "Oh, you didn't do this right. Like the wheels or something are wrong or something," and they don't revisit it as even a minor update, which is kind of frustrating for those train guys or the weapons guys. And when he was talking about the belts, why is it so hard just to add a node-based gun belt? And like a rope. You don't have to make a physics-based gun belt. You don't. It's not required to make the game better. They just want something they can put in their plane that fits, that has ammo in it, so we don't have to put infinite ammo on everything that we do, which we do now. Sigh. Sigh. You got more, Char? You got more to rant about?
No, well, there's always a rant that I would much rather have had fishing, or even just more add-on kind of added stuff. He mentioned a little bit about that there's more to do in the add-on coding side of stuff that they've added, but they didn't really mention anything in particular. So, yeah, I'll have to see what actually comes out of that.
Oh, I just remembered my rant. Well, it wasn't really a rant, but I had thought for sure, like I was like betting that at the end of the year they were going to announce a space game, because I thought they wanted to start over with clean code, and they were just going to use the compressed gases and stuff as like a test bed in Stormworks so that they knew what they were doing in the other game to make it work properly. But I'm totally, completely wrong. They actually went ahead and added space. So I am shocked, actually.
Why would they do that? We have no space for space.
Are you guys shocked?
If I may say,
Yeah?
I doubt they're going to reveal anything about the new game for now.
Right.
Just, they seem like that. They keep everything sort of secretive, don't really talk to the community. So they're going to keep the new game that they're going to be working on for quite some time in the future as well.
Hey, Neo,
still secret.
Come into my Discord. Are you in my Discord? Come into. Do you guys know who Neotastic is?
Yes.
No.
It is in your Discord.
No.
Where? No, I mean it's not here on the chat, the stage. So this is weird. Neotastic is a YouTuber, and he like messaged me like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I never saw it. And then by some small chance, like YouTube like recommended his video, and he's like been doing stuff, and I haven't even heard of him until like now. It's crazy. So yeah, Neo, get in the chat if you're around, in the stage. But if you guys don't know who he is, just look on YouTube for him, and you'll see he does a lot of Stormworks videos. So there you go.
I saw one of his videos.
Yeah, but you guys. So I'm the only one that really thought that the next game was going to be space?
It would seem
I wasn't really following
It
that.
seems so, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't think like at all about the new game.
Yeah, same here.
Do we know something?
No, they
No,
just
we don't know
Like,
anything.
Stormworks, maybe?
They said they're
Oh.
going to be developing a new game, and it's not going to be Stormworks 2, and that's all they said.
But they did say, Dio, this is the key word that I thought. They said we're going to take what we learned from Stormworks.
Yeah, right.
And that's where I thought, okay, it's going to be a block building game, and it's going to be a space game.
Carrier command free.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am.
They learned from Stormworks. What did they learn from Stormworks?
I don't know. Hey, Neo.
Hey, how's it going?
Bugs.
All right.
That was
So
a joke of the
this is
century.
Neo, and Neo does have a YouTube channel, and it is Neotastic. So go look him up and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Yep.
And so, Neo, what are your thoughts as a professional YouTuber?
I'm actually shocked. I thought it'd completely be fishing. But space, I guess. Yep.
So
Fishing for victory.
So, Neo, I feel like it's going to work really well with your style of video, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching your videos,
Definitely should, yeah.
and you have your fast-paced chaos style going on. So I think space and disasters is going to go really well with you. So,
Oh yeah. That'd be really fun.
So, any other thoughts, guys, on this space DLC and space and all that stuff? Anybody?
I think it's cool watching their stream right now. How you can actually land there instead of just teleporting and it'd be a different map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I'm glad they
Oh,
didn't
you
do
guys
like a
better
living
learn
stream.
to fly the lunar module.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you tried that?
Oh, it's
Neo?
not going to be an easy task.
Have you
I'm telling
tried
you.
Blue's? It has the lunar module on top. Have you tried that?
Yeah, but
I
you
haven't.
can't fly that one.
Yeah, you should definitely try that one. It is fun, and it's a pain in the butt to take off,
And it's broken.
and it's broken
Almost.
apparently.
To some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
But-
probably go ahead and try that.
So hey,
I tell
chat,
you,
guys.
I might just put a new.
What are you guys
you
thinking?
capture
I am
it.
Phoenix says he didn't know what they. What I am Phoenix said that he's shocked. Neo's shocked, but Neo's here. We're good with that. Lorenzo, why can't we have free form holes? I don't know what that means. Like 3D, holes like that. I don't know. That's about it. Not much going on in the chat. I guess they're all in shock. They must be lying on the floor, in shock.
Wait,
Wait, is there a lot of
Most likely.
locations with names?
Blue has his
Well,
name in the
many
game.
people.
I saw a couple
Yeah.
other people.
They did mention that in the QA.
Oh yeah, I saw Blues Night. Yep, I remember
I'm
that.
shocked to see that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone told me that I had my spot, and I didn't believe him. But there's a lot of names, I think.
Did you actually see your name in the video?
Yeah, I did.
What's it
Yes,
called?
I've seen Blues. Yeah.
No, Polly.
Wait,
Polly's
sorry, what?
one.
Yep.
So what it was the Polly Wally
Yes.
range or Polly Wally?
Oh,
Crevice?
wait, I can send a screenshot into the chat.
What's the
What's
full
that?
name? What's the full name? What's it say? Polly Wally what?
Polly Wally Crackers.
Polly
I
Wally
think
what?
there was a whack crater or something.
Oh, crater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See now that looks cool. Look how it's come in the view. If you're watching the video, it's like
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
it's kind of like getting more detail there or something. Like it's
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's LOD meshing.
I didn't notice that before. I still think they should swap out the texture when you're away from the planet so you can see the map wrapped around though. That would be pretty cool. Are we going to be
Wouldn't they
doing rescue missions in space? Yes, I am Phoenix because this is a space. Wait, no, I was going to say space and rescue game. This is a
He's
build
right,
and
yeah.
rescue game, and that's what it's about. Okay, it's about rescuing people in space and the water, on land. So
With guns.
with guns,
Space
Well,
Marines.
space marines. Thank you.
I think Star Wars stuff is gonna blow up.
You'd have
Yeah,
to
in the
build,
workshop.
build the whole angles first. Okay, they're doing. Oh, and it was funny. He was talking about the pyramids because people have been on a pyramid kick lately. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Mountain View says, thinking how this will affect the already steep learning curve. Do you guys think it has a steep learning curve?
Yeah, it definitely
It-
does. It's really hard to get into if you have no idea and no one helping you.
I
Oh, yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I have trouble with brick rigs. That's like a learning curve for me. Like I can't play that game.
Brick Ring feels like it's like a basic child's game, but building looks too advanced for me.
Like the building is not fun. Like I don't know. I think Stormworks has a really good editor, but maybe I just
Oh,
been
yeah.
living with it too damn long. I don't know.
Yeah, but you also need to learn all the mechanics and existing knowledge from like
No,
kind
you've
of know
got
the real, but doesn't work.
I mean, I don't even know how to do Lua. I've been playing for like 4 years.
you've got engine
So-
builders. You just drop that
Same.
sucker in, and you're good to go.
Fair enough, that also works.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know a phone where you can see my name.
Oh, okay, you put it in where?
It's-
What chat? General?
No, it's at -41. It's in live workbench chat. I don't know. You can enter it in the voice chat.
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know how it looks on PC, but
Okay, where did it go? Is it a chat here? Oh, there you go. Polly Wally Craters. Okay, here, let me. Here, this is what it looks like. If you guys want to see it on the chat, look at that. It's Polly
there
Wally.
was a lot of names.
There
Like,
were.
He scrolled around the map and you.
There were some I didn't know.
Yeah.
There was like a bubble.
Yeah.
Bubble something. Oh, we got Blaster here. Let's get Blaster.
Well, I know
here.
that guy. Also like a builder.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be fun. It'll be definitely be good for Komodo because he's going to be doing crazy stuff with OB, and they'll have fun, and it'll bring a bunch of kids into the game, and they'll go crazy. And
So that brings a challenge for spacecraft makers to make it Komodo and OB proof and frantic proof.
we don't want to make it frantic proof. We want to, like, you guys have this bad view that we actually want things to work in our YouTube videos. We don't. We don't crash things because we're bad. We crash things because we're bad on purpose.
Endo, you see,
I'm lying about me, but
there
other
are
people
two.
do it on
Frantic
purpose.
proof has two. Making it proof has two kind of derivatives.
Okay.
You can either make it so it doesn't fail,
Okay.
or you can make it so it recognizes and purposely fails.
Okay. All right, that's fine, I guess. All I know, Blue, is I'm going to be bugging you, so you're going to be on my bug list to get
Well,
something.
guess what?
What?
And if you want something from me, you have less than a week, because in a week I am gone until December or July.
You need to get on a laptop and get on the internet and give me stuff. That's what you need to do.
And I need to get a laptop. That's step one.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be a you know what? If I was actually making money, I would buy you a laptop, but I'm not making any
Yeah,
money.
well, if I was making money, I would buy myself one as well.
There you go.
Starts a charity.
Blue. Keep in mind, you have to get a laptop that can actually run this game.
That's
There are
even
two
that's a new
challenges.
challenge. You see, I don't usually associate laptop and Stormworks.
Is there going to be a
One-
default space station orbiting Earth? I don't think there's going to be any default, Ricardo. Everything's going to have to be
Nah,
built.
you got to build that.
You're going to get probably add-ons in the workshop, and then Neotastic will load them up and destroy them. Am I right?
Oh yeah, that seems fun.
Yeah. We're going to get some... I know there's going to be some people that come up with stuff that we're not expecting. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for satellites. I'm really interested in those.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if you could have a camera that could zoom in, maybe on like the moon or something.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
There is already, keep in mind, there is actually an island focused around astronomy. I kind of think they may want to use that.
Yeah, right.
That's a true
Everyone
statement.
forgets about that. That exists.
Well, I forget about a lot of things in the world. There's castles, there's like these weird ruins, there's the old
Police
power
stations.
plant. Yeah, like there's tons of crap.
There's even an abandoned, like, Greek-looking ruin in the volcano islands, which I really like.
Okay,
There's a random plane in there
I
as well.
forgot they existed.
Ricardo's asking about mining. They didn't say anything about mining at all, right? There's no mining on this moon.
They said that there aren't yet any resources, but they may be adding them.
Okay.
Something like that.
So that will be in the industrial DLC part 2. Something like that. There is also a radio telescope in the Arid. There's that thing. Blue. What is that thing called, Blue?
True.
Arecibo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what does it
It
do in real
was.
life?
Well, it's gone now. It fell apart
Oh.
a year or two ago. A
Two.
bit more. It is. I forget which kind of telescope it is.
It's a
Well,
radio.
it's not
huge
not
radio.
typical one.
It's a
Radio
radio
telescope.
telescope. Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? What was it for searching for extraterrestrial life?
That it's very well known for the Arecibo message, which was a message sent to a star cluster, I think, containing very like yeah,
See, he
containing
knows more about me than I.
stuff.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, it was just a message they sent that may be received by, I don't know, other life forms in the future, because it takes a long while to get there.
It's
Thank you
funny,
for
I
saving
think
my ass, Theo.
that's the only kind of other worthwhile feature in this DLC, from my cynical point of view, is that kind of directional radio stuff. That sounded cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
You could use that for like secure communication, or you could use it to simulate the sonar and things like that.
Yes, please, because they don't understand that. If we want to make a rocket fly up, and we want to communicate it, we can't have it go more than like 20 kilometers because of it.
Okay.
And then it's blackout, unless you mod.
I
the
don't know
radio.
about that stuff. Mountain View, excuse me again. Mountain View is asking something about how gravity works. Did you guys get how the gravity works? Is it basically,
Yes.
if you're away from a planet, then it kicks into no gravity, right?
They said something like moon gravity when you get on the moon, or like close to it, I guess. It will be like 1/6 or something of
Yeah.
the Earth gravity. And in space, I think they said there will be no gravity, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, so I mean, basically it's an on and off switch almost, right? Like the closer you get to the moon surface, then it starts kicking in stronger, probably.
It might be gradual, actually.
It is gradual. They described it right, like it was the further you get from Earth's surface, the weaker it gets, right? And there is a point where you're at zero gravity, but there's also a point where that you're at weaker gravity. But if you were to move sideways really quickly, I feel like that has a multiplier on your gravity as well, and that's how they're kind of messing, introducing orbits, even though the world is flat, is they're considering horizontal velocity as having an effect on the gravity applied. That's what I took away from it.
Something they mentioned.
So we got.
Oh, go ahead.
Are we going to get re-entry heating?
I don't know. I don't think it was in
I
there.
Probably
I
not.
highly doubt it.
Because we
I
got
probably
I highly
not.
doubt it.
we got a pre-recorded video, so I'm having a feeling they wanted to make sure they only showed what was kind of working.
Yeah.
Besides
It's
the bug.
also
Thanks
like
for
a
listening.
month away. They might
Yeah.
probably add quite a bunch of stuff still.
And I'm sure, guys, it is going to be fully tested. I'm guessing fully tested.
No, it won't.
Hopefully.
Nah,
Because
Nothing
let
will
me
be
guess.
tested.
you already know they're gonna screw
Now
it up.
I know you guys are like under NDA, but which one of you guys is testing this? I know one of you is a tester. Which one is it? You're not gonna break your NDA? Nobody?
Which
It's
one
you,
of
Endo.
Which
It's not
one of
me.
you? Answer
Probably
me.
someone here.
Is there even anyone who is?
No, I've never
Wait,
met
but
it. I've
how
only
far-
met testers for the DLC, for the weapons DLC, and then they were kicked off testing like a couple months before it was released because they didn't want any more input, and that was it. So,
Thank you
that's-
for your service. Get out.
Wait, there
Yeah.
were actually testers for that?
Yeah, well, from what I heard, there's several people I talked to, and they were able to give feedback, and then the feedback was sometimes taken or ignored based on whether they felt they wanted to, take the feedback. So,
Damn.
when we talk about like ammo belts, that was feedback that they got a lot of, and ammo belts never made it into the DLC. So that tells you how much the testers are able to help make it a better product, I guess. Yeah.
And why?
Correct.
How far can you go out into space?
You can go forever, apparently. You can just go into nothingness forever. You can't reach the sun because apparently it's too far away, they said. And
I think they're just
Pathetic.
too lazy to add it.
well, no, they're always doing within a limited amount of scope, right? What can we add within this amount of time? And that's what they do. So, I mean, this is okay. I always have to give Deltars credit when it comes to like getting cells, because this is a smart move, right? The Space DLC is going to bring Stormworks back into the spotlight on Steam, and they're going to get cells.
And definitely, $10 pricing is clearly targeting kind of a younger audience, so they definitely want to boost that.
Right, and he's not being too greedy with it. $10 for a whole new experience, even though maybe it gets boring after a week or so. it's still going to bring a bunch of people in to buy it. I'm going to buy it because they're not going to give it to me because they're mean. But I'm going to buy it. And Blue's going to buy it when he's back from Siberia or wherever he's going. Neo's going to buy it.
Siberia?
Of course.
Char,
I'm only moving up halfway
Char
the
may
country.
not buy it. I don't know. Char, are you going to buy it?
Did they mention
I'm
that
We
being
shall
sent
see.
abroad.
All right, let me ask you this. Are any of you not going to buy it?
I don't think I will.
Wait, who said that?
I
I
don't
think it's the same like on the.
Kathy.
Who said that?
What was
Polly?
the last DLC called?
Kathy.
Oh, Kathy, you're not going to buy it. Really? All your
Yeah,
friends are
no.
playing, Kathy. All your friends.
we're gonna
Yeah, no.
Peer
I
pressure.
mean, I bought the last two without hesitation, but I'm just not too excited for this one. I mean, you still get most of the parts, I think, even though they might not work. I mean, that's all I
Yeah.
need really for them to look good.
I'm
Okay.
really curious to see what they
Yeah,
look
I mean,
behind
I just don't really care about it that much. to be
Okay. Oh,
honest.
Delta X is going to buy it, and he's always angry about Stormworks, and he's buying it. So there you go.
So, okay.
Ricardo, yes, the moon and our Sawyer Island Earth is the only two places you can go when this releases, unless they change something drastically. So you'll only have those two options. This is not turning into KSP at all. This is a Stormworks, I guess, environment that's being added so that you can have fun with your friends and go to space. But nothing too heavy, except for the people that go crazy with their rockets like Blue and the other guys. Blue, do you know
Not cool now.
the names of the other guys that build space stuff?
No, I don't. I fell out of touch of spaceflight for months now.
Okay. I Am Phoenix says, I don't know if I'm going to end up buying that DLC. I just don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. I don't know, Phoenix. I think it'll be fun just because you get so bored with what Stormworks is, right? You can keep building, your vehicles that you always build. But once in a while, you just want to do something different. And this gives you an opportunity to do something different. Like maybe it's a weekend thing, but for $10 and you play for 8 hours or something over the weekend, that's not a bad deal, right? Am I right? Am I right?
It's also going to be on sale probably when they release it, like the other DLCs have always been in the past.
They've been on sale?
I think.
Yeah, they usually do
Oh.
drop the prices on Stormworks and the DLCs and then keep the new DLC at the same price. They want you to buy the
I don't
package.
remember the DLC's been on sale.
Okay.
They were
I forgot about that.
by a couple bucks. It wasn't big. It was little bit.
Do you guys know the actual release date?
Yes, the 12th of
October
October.
12th of October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, Casido says it's like submarine exploration, but in here it's harder and cooler to see. It's harder to
Where
see?
am I? Okay.
Isn't it easier to see? I feel like it's easier to see. The water's kind of hard to see. So, okay, have you guys played around with the mods? Any of the mods, the freeway mods or anything like that? The racetrack mods? Anything?
I haven't.
Nobody.
But
Yeah, I haven't either.
Wow. Okay. That's sad. You guys should try it. It's
Mods
really
are-
fun. If you guys are bored with
What-
Stormworks, try the racetrack mod or the freeway mod, and you can zoom around Sawyer Isles on that highway mod or whatever it's called, and it's fun. It's pretty fun. Because you know how the roads are so bouncy, you die quick. On that freeway, you can just floor it. Pretty good. Let's see.
Which day does it come out?
October 12th. I don't know what day it is. What's October 12th? Let's look.
Yeah, that
October-
highway would be good for a police chase, so that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that.
Thursday.
You want to do that? You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. It is on a Thursday, October 12th. Yeah, so Thursday, so on Friday they can patch it, maybe, if they need to. That's what their plan is, I think.
I'm happy they decided not to release it now, but have a long time, so they hopefully do a lot of testing and such.
SE, are you crazy? They're not. Oh.
I mean, if they, I have personally seen devs releasing things that haven't. I mean, we all know Stormworks, but I think it usually kills more than it helps to release something early because the people want it.
I don't think they're releasing it early. I just don't think it's done yet. And that's when they think they can get it done. And the testing is going to be probably in-house, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but I have never, and I ask all the time, is anybody a tester for them? And nobody ever says I'm a tester. So
Interesting.
I don't know that they, and I think they only test what they're working on, and they don't test, like, they don't have like the missile guys come in and test their missile systems to make sure that's still working properly. They don't have like Charlizard with his fishing add-on come in and say, oh, is the fishing add-on still working properly? Did you break this? They don't do that. It's just kind of like we're testing what we're building, and then I think
Your problem.
Yeah, we'll fix it later if there's a problem, kind of thing. I could be lying, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, I don't think you are either.
Spreading of propaganda?
Yeah, I'm I'm the bad guy.
Misinformation on the internet.
I'm the bad guy. I'm sorry. Everybody needs a bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Are there any mods that make mission creation easier? No. I am Phoenix. The mission editor was ripped out right before they went 1.0. Deltars decided, without inquiring to the community and their thoughts about the mission editor, ripped it out, added the add-on editor, which is amazing for people like Char that can do something with it, and Toastery. Toastery is doing the improved Conquest mod. If you haven't tried that, make sure you try that. That's more of a single-player thing that he built. At least that's what he told me. He likes it for single-player better. You can play multiplayer. But those are the guys that can do it, right? The programmers, like Char. Char, speak for yourself. Go.
Yeah, I'm a professional software engineer. I know how to work it, but yeah, cool.
So what are your thoughts on the add-on editor as far as like the functionality and what you can do? Is there more or less missing from it that you need?
Well, there's still plenty of stuff that we'd love to see in it.
Raycasting, that's one.
Yeah, that'd be one. Any sort of stuff that would reduce kind of the amount of maths that you have to do for certain situations would be ideal. But it's a pretty comprehensive tool, but it's not very easy to learn how to use. I've never actually used it, the way it's really intended to be used. So I can't speak for it all that much. But in terms of actual game modding, like beyond the add-on editor, that's something that I'm really impressed when everyone makes like the XML edits and makes like these massive maps and things like that. I don't know how to do that. So
that's a whole different can of worms. That's 3D editing, plus you've got tools by like Leopard, and I don't know if Tony made a tool, but somebody else made a tool, I think. Leopard and somebody else. Can't remember the other person. But you have to export 3D from Blender, and then you have to run it through this thing that creates like these physics objects or something, or physics data for the object that you're adding to the world. And then you can place like a building that has physics so you don't like ram into it. But all these mods, like the racetrack mod and the highway, and I think there's the NSO, they're 3D objects that go into the world just like the map. So you don't get the frame rate impact you do when like these people make these amazing vehicle builds that are like buildings and stuff. You don't get that lag, because when you build something in Stormworks, if it's a vehicle-based build, you get the physics impact and all that crap, no matter what. But with the 3D objects, you get great frame rate. So, like, if you want to do a racetrack, try Carnivore's racetrack, and you're not going to get lag, and you can race with your friends around a really cool racetrack. So, because the block build racetracks, you're going to get lag in most cases. They try to minimize it, but the mods are better. Not going to lie. Let's see. Delta says, have I tried Vintage Story? I think I did try Vintage Story. Is that the one that's like a Minecraft kind of clone thing? Maybe, if that's what I'm thinking of. And as far as I Am Phoenix, as far as the add-on editor, have you guys played Arma or Flashpoint? Yeah, Arma, right? Arma 3, Arma 2. Their editor is based around like a editor where you can drag and drop and add like basic like things to it. And then they have the script editor. And that's what I thought they were going to do with Stormworks, where you had like the old editor where anybody could use it and create like a mission. And then you were going to have an add-on script where you could expand and do an add-on to it. But they didn't do that. He just ripped it out. So that makes me sad.
Could you explain to me what's the difference between the add-on and the mission editor now? I didn't really like.
So the old mission
Yeah,
editor,
what-
did you not? Were you not around when the mission editor was a thing back in the day?
Nah, no.
Okay, so the
Wait,
mission
when was
editor.
that?
What?
The one where you pressed N.
No, they actually had a mission editor, right? Blue, maybe it was before your time. So the mission editor, I think I have an old video where I used it. I think even there's a couple tutorials on the old mission editor out there somewhere. But the old mission editor was like a thing where you could like add an objective and you would click an add button and it would add the objective and then you could place it on the map and then you could set it's a retrieval thing or you have to bring something here or you have to save somebody and you would just like click these buttons to add the object or the NPC and then you could make a mission where you'd have to go to that location, it would trigger something and then you'd have to take that person to the hospital just like you do now in the game, except it was kind of simple and it wasn't good because it wasn't refined, but they could have made it better, but instead of making that better, they just decided to do away with it and make it so you had to use script. But there's not a heck of a lot of people that can do it.
Was that before or after you had like the small menu where you could spawn in individual like default missions, see all the mission objectives?
That was part of
With
it.
a small menu.
No, that was part of it. So like, you could use that mission button to create missions.
I missed that thing.
Yeah.
Wait, how long is that all ago?
I don't know. When's 1.0? Like
when did they?
3 years ago, maybe? 2 years ago?
Oh, okay.
I
didn't even play the game yet.
A bit less than that.
Yeah. At least 2 years. I think it was at least 2
Yeah.
years.
I think I
I'm
started
guessing.
playing the game like 1.5 years ago or something.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it would allow anybody to make a mission that was like a rescue or a retrieval or move objects like boxes to a different location. But there wasn't the ability, which was always a problem, to like say you want to do like a 2-part mission where say you have to move like a jet engine to a hangar, and then once you get that jet engine to the hangar, you could do a trigger to like replace that jet engine onto a new build with the jet engine on the plane. So like it was like you were building the plane and then maybe you had to go get like another jet engine from another location, bring it there, and then you could swap out that plane for like a plane with 2 jet engines. So there wasn't the ability to swap out builds. Like it was either like move it there and delete it or that was it. There wasn't like a continuation to like change the mission as it went. And also you couldn't sort things. So like as you created triggers, you had to create them in the order that you wanted them, or like you couldn't move them, which was a pain in the butt too. So you couldn't really sort things to figure out what the hell your mission was doing. It was kind of a pain in the butt, not gonna lie. But I kind of wish it was still there with the add-on editor as an option. But for dumb people like me, char is fine. But yeah, I would have liked the other way. Anyone talking in chat? Are we winding down now? I feel like we're winding down. I think the shock is worn off. Do you know of any new parts that come with
the adrenaline is wearing off, yeah.
Yeah. There's new engines. What do they say? New engines, satellite radio part, what's the little air things that make the rocket turn blue? RCS or something?
RCS thrusters.
RCS thrusters.
Reaction control system.
Some kind of new navigation thing. I don't know what it was called anymore. I already forgot. Do you know what it's called? What the other thing? It wasn't a gyro. It was something else. I don't know what it was called.
We mentioned some sort of gyro thing.
Yeah. Oh, they got a spacesuit. They do have spacesuits.
What's it called?
I don't know if you can color your spacesuit.
What they call a platform or something.
Oh,
I hope you can color it. That'd be cool.
Did they? A platform? What's the platform for?
No, I remember the other name of it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That gyro thing that the astronauts, they called it the platform. The thing that drives the gyro or something.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know the name anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not guessing there's going to be too many parts. Maybe the engines will have a few parts. But I think for the most part, there's lots of parts, is going to be the whole transition from Sawyer Island to space is where all their work went into, and the compressed gases. So I think that's where the bulk of the work went, and then they just added the space parts to get your basic rockets And maybe they'll do like an update. I'm kind of guessing they're going to do an update with different kinds of space engines, probably to get some keywords in there to like get KSP people to like glance at Stormworks and say, oh, they got that kind of space thing. Maybe I should try that. For $10, it doesn't seem too bad. No, I don't know if they're saying that, but who knows?
Fall into a world of despair.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's going to be fun. I don't know. It's probably going to be buggy, but like it's kind of like what we just kind of expect now, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I just expect it to be buggy. I'm excited about the part system more than he is about the moon, says Delta. Have you seen the devs ruined the beret clothing piece? No, I don't know about that, Ludwig. I even have an idea of launching and escorting automated drone. Oh yeah, drones in space would be kind of cool, huh? Didn't even think about that. They are mentioning a rework of fluids pressure, so that might help with subs and steam engines. Oh yeah, they're gonna break steam engines, aren't they? I bet they do. I have a feeling.
Why not?
Because steam engines are a little bit weird now, I think. So I'm guessing they're gonna be weirder, right? No one agrees. All right, okay, fine. Hey Neo, I think I'm wrapping up this. Do you want to go ahead and like pimp your channel?
Yeah, go subscribe. I post like 2 videos a day on Stormworks. So I'm like rescuing and career stuff.
Yeah. So if you enjoy like kind of like I want to say fast-paced videos. They feel fast and frantic. Not like
always
frantic
fast,
but fast.
Not a frantic reference?
No, it wasn't a frantic image. It's just frantic.
There's absolutely no silences. I can say that.
Yeah, you've got some nice quick editing. You've got a nice paced video overall. I kind of want to like do videos like you, but then I feel like, look, he's copying Neo. So
now that you mention it,
so I said, nah, I'll just be boring me. I won't try to be cool like Neo.
Not do it if you mention it in front of Neo now.
Yeah, no, well, I'm not, dude. I'm not. I'm not secretive. I'm gonna tell him I'm copying him. Yeah, no, Neo's fun. You go watch a Neo video. Check it out after this live stream. Neotastic is the name. Neotastic. And like I said, Neo, it was really weird because I missed your message, and then I didn't see that you were even on YouTube until I got recommended one video. When I contacted you, the day I contacted you was the day I got a video from you. And then I looked at your channel. I was like, oh my gosh, he's been around a while. He's been doing a lot of videos. And like YouTube never showed me who you were. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Since like you do Stormworks too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and like I've always tried to like promote other YouTubers like in the Stormy Awards and all that crap, but I don't remember seeing you unless I just have a bad memory, which is probably the case. But have I? Did I ever mention you on the Stormy Awards?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
When I did reach out to you, I had like 300 subs, so I don't even know. I wasn't known
fast, huh?
Yeah, pretty fast.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys should go watch Neo. He's whatever formula he's got going on. Everybody copy him quick. No. And Char is, I'm trying to wrap this up, Char. So Char has been working on the sub hunt. I'm going to get people like Neo and Dio and Blue and, I don't know, Blaster, if you're ever interested in doing a sub hunt. But Char has been working on this thing, and it is really, really cool. I've been testing it, and he's been adding features. Like, what's cool about Char is he's not like Del Tars. He actually talks to me, and he adds features I asked for. Right, Char?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
A good day.
Yeah, so Char, I've seen you've been working on Storm. Are you working on JSI fishing, or are you working on the add-on still?
It's mostly your add-on sort of stuff.
Oh, so you've still been doing stuff while I've seen you online. You're still working on it?
Yeah, I've been coding away whilst talking to you here.
Oh. Oh, by the way, Toastery mentioned something about... Hold on, let me look it up. Remember I told you, like, I thought there was, like, a lag thing going on?
Mm.
Do you remember?
I do remember that, yep.
And Toastery, because Toastery works on the improved Conquest add-on. If you guys haven't tried that again, go try it. It's on the workshop. And but he was saying, when I tried that guy's what you call it, crash depth. I guess Neo had good luck with that crash depth add-on, but I had trouble with it lagging. And he says that the server.getVehicleData is very expensive. Do you use it very lightly?
When do I use it? It does look like I use it every now and then, yeah.
Okay, so he says it's very expensive. So if you want more information about it, I will ask Toastery tips on it, because he's really good about answering questions I have. I don't know what he's saying, but it usually helps you.
Cool.
But
Okay,
yeah, he
awesome.
said that causes lag. It can cause lag really bad. So
Right.
that is the
No worries.
get vehicle data. But anyways, let's talk about the add-on real quick. The sub add-on. So since we last did a sub add-on, we did not have active sonar, which we now have, right?
Yep.
And I gave Char a graphic of a interface that nobody should spend time on, but Char did. And he's made this awesome active sonar thing where it automatically can search around, around the ship and ping different locations looking for a submarine. It can also go into passive mode, so you can listen for a submarine. And then he's added like signals that go off when you get a ping. And so the big difference between a Stormworks Workshop sonar or hydrophone is that, the hydrophones, especially in Stormworks, are either an on-off signal, right, Char? You either get like a target or you don't get a target based on if the engine is on or off. There is no level to the volume of the engine. So what Char has done with the add-on is he's tracking ships, and he's tracking, are you tracking speed or RPS, or what are you tracking for the sound?
For the sound, it tracks speed and depth and the mass of the ship itself.
And the mass,
all sorts of
okay.
stuff.
And so
Yeah.
he's using that in the add-on to give the sonars something to find. And so it's not a binary on-off kind of thing with if you see a sub, it's based on the signature that Char has created based on all those things, the speed and the mass of all, the ship. So it gives us a little bit of opportunity to hide. I'm not very good at hiding at your AI destroyers. They don't seem to let me go.
They're a little bit overpowered at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah. And they also see through islands. Damn cheaters.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's also added an AI for the destroyers. Just like, let's say that we don't have enough people, we can use an AI destroyer to help. And they will go into search modes, and then they will rush to the submarine and leave the convoy alone. So maybe your POW can try to sink the convoy while the destroyer is trying to kill you. And they will use depth charges. They will use hedgehogs. It's pretty exciting. And for our latest, for Char's latest add-on feature,
Hedgehogs?
Huh? What, Blue?
Hedgehogs?
Hedgehogs, yeah, like Sonic. And what Char's added is virtual ordnance. Now, I know Toastery is working on this too, and the reason we're trying to do virtual ordnance is the more sub-bodies you have, of course, the more Stormworks multiplayer struggles. So the idea is that if we have torpedoes that only come into the world when you need them, we're going to minimize that lag, and that will happen for depth chart. Do we have that yet? Are we working on that?
Yeah, depth charges.
I keep saying we. I'm sorry, Char. It's all you.
You can equip any of your player ships
Yeah,
with
good old
that kind
days.
of hedgehog system.
Yeah, so that's going to be virtual. So the idea is that everything is only spawned into the world when it's needed, and that will help us with the Anonymous is here. Lag. And Toastery's working on that for the improved Conquest add-on as well. So everyone's trying to go virtual weapons just to get rid of that extra crap. How you doing,
just gonna say,
Clara?
officially fucking converted to hating the devs. Oh my god.
Whoa! I just got banned on YouTube for that bad word. No, I'm kidding.
You?
Yeah.
You hurt his feelings.
So okay, Clara,
Yes.
let's hear it. What is your problem, Clara?
Okay, for one, it's not with it's the DLC. It's the fluids and gases update for so many reasons. Number one, that it's going to break almost any vehicle that uses any fluids and gases on the workshop.
That's just negative, Clara. It's just negative.
It's true. Okay, Endo, you can't say that.
I don't feel like you have any proof of devs having any issues with updates. I don't know what your problem is. Okay, what else?
I'm like,
Have they
I've been
done
the
for
one
you
who's like so. I've
have
been
they
like the
done
one
for you?
who's just like, no, I think they know what they're doing, and I'm like, I see this, and I'm like, they said they're doing. Oh, it's going to affect the existing systems. I'm like, why?
Yeah, Paul.
So many vehicles.
Excuse me, 1 minute. So Paul Pittman, if you want to do a sub hunt, we're not doing any right now. We're just getting things ready. But if you go to my Discord, somewhere there's a link to a different Discord that's events, and you can go there and you can see events for like F1 and SR2. What's the other race? Blue. What's the other race? People. SLR.
I'm not in them. I think
S2R. I don't know. But there's like race events, and then we've got the Battered and Banished with Eggnog in his group, and we've got another group with what you call it, ask somebody else, and they do tank battles. So you'll want to get to that server if you want to do a sub hunt. Okay, Clara, back to Clara. Let's go back to Clara and her anchor.
Oh my god! And you know, I said this ages ago, but
Yeah.
like adding space would be such a bad idea.
You did say that.
Because the conversion of going from a 2D world to a 3D space.
I don't know. I saw the video. It looked fine, Clara. I don't know what your problem is.
It's you rise out. Okay, you rise out of the 2D plane as the Earth, and it converts to a black sphere as you go through space, and then you go to the moon, where you get warped around to the one spot you can land on the moon. But then I have the question of, how does re-entry work? Do you go into space?
It's
and then
not
when you
done
come
yet,
back-
Clara. Did you see the video? It's not done yet.
Clara,
I don't trust
Clara, re-entry is a government lie.
It's a government lie. You
Yeah,
never
we
come
only send people out. We don't bring them back. That's right.
It's funny though. It's funny when it happens.
That applies more to the Soviets than the Americans.
So that's all, Clara. That's your upset. That's your upset about a little gas.
I mean, the gas one was very upset because if that breaks substantial numbers of vehicles, including vehicles I've worked on, I will be very upset.
Well, don't worry, because they have an option that you don't have to upgrade Stormworks. You can always play the old version.
But the workshop.
I made that up, by the way.
I mean, technically, you can. I don't know if they patched the way of being able to
Of getting
use
the old
versions.
thing out there. Oh,
Yeah, I
Tristan's
don't
here.
know if that's still. But it was
Okay, so is that it? That's all? You're a little upset about you get a little gas?
I'm upset at the focus. I'm upset at the doing the focus. of
Okay, all right.
space.
Let me try another one. Clara, what would you
Yeah.
have preferred they did? What would you have preferred for a DLC?
Fishing would have been a much better one to have done.
Why don't you talk
That's
to
one
Char?
that,
He's
like,
got a fishing add-on. Come on.
Yes, but one in the game, because the thing is, if you have something in the game, then it's supported by everyone.
It's in the
You don't have to worry.
game. It's just Char
You mean-
uses text a lot more than fish.
Okay.
Right, much
like-
rather have real fish.
For a space, they have to completely add or completely rework these massive game mechanics when they could have been working on fleshing out what they've already been adding.
Yeah, I know. Well, like you weren't here, Clara, I'm guessing, but I was betting. I was so betting on the next game being space and that they weren't going to do it in Stormworks.
Never played the lottery again.
I'm not going to play the lottery at all. I would have lost, or I did.
I
lose.
was so right on the last one, and I'm so wrong on this one.
Yeah, but hey, those April Fool's jokes, am I right? They're right all
Oh
the
my
time.
god, all of them have panned out.
If you want fishing, I just need to do a fishing DLC April Fool's joke, and we'll
Yeah,
be good.
that's how you do it. Just make it. When you want a video, just make an April Fool's video out of it.
Exactly.
You broke the system.
It's a guarantee.
All right, let's say hi to Tristan, because I don't think I've talked to Tristan before. Tristan, say hi. All right, good talk, Tristan. Okay, so Clara's not happy about the add-on. Okay, that's cool.
I'm very worried about it. And this is something that talking with obviously
Okay.
tons of people that make vehicles.
A lot of people don't know this. Clara has a temper.
I have a temper. It's I think a lot of people do know that because they meet my temper.
I know she has a temper because she always ignores me whenever I post like AI 3D stuff.
Because they're fucking weird. All right, say it again.
They're my next band. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up. Oh, did I finish my Char Lizard story? Yeah, I did. Right. We did. We're doing virtual ordnance. We've got hydrophones, sonar, active sonar. We've got crush depth. which is like just set to a number. And then you're not using mass on crush depth, right? We're just using, a depth, and then we do damage, which is fine. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, that'd work.
At what, Neil?
That'd be cool. Yeah, I like that system better. Probably maybe leg it less.
I haven't had any trouble with testing, and it seems to work. So it just does damage, and then,
there's a random chance of a catastrophic implosion.
Yeah, it implodes. It kills you. He's added the ability. When we were doing subhunts, we'd like get dropouts or like fall off the boat, and so now we have a little simple. It's not a big deal to most people, I'm sure, but you can TP to the boat you were on. So if you join back in, you can TP to boat 8 or whatever you were on, and we don't have to like show the map so everybody knows where the sub is, stuff like that. What else? He's been working on some interfaces for
I like the air support system.
The what?
That's the fun one. The air support stuff where you get dive bombed. That's the most fun one.
Oh yeah, it's got air support. We've got the ability. If you guys have played War Thunder, and you know how you like, if you're playing the tank battles, which I hate, you can like jump from a tank to a plane, and then once you're done with the plane, you go back to the tank. Char's kind of added a little ability to do that. So the ability to maybe do, and I was thinking about this, Char, we could get rid of scout planes and just have it be people scout planes, right? So
for sure,
something like that. But he's got bombers right now. They don't fully work, right? The bombing's not bombing yet.
The player flight bombers don't bomb, but the AI bombers do at the minute. Yeah.
Yeah, they do lag the game when you put too many, though. I went crazy. I had like 15, but they look cool. And so we've got we've got the planes. The actual convoy ships call in planes when they are scared. We have a really shallow system for like Axis and allies owning different bases, but it's not really useful because everything's taking place in the ocean. But it does use the airfields to send out planes from, so it takes some time to get to the location, right? Am I lying?
Yep, that's true.
That's true. Okay, cool. What else? I feel like I'm missing some other features that we've added that we haven't tested. What am I missing?
The convoys, the way the convoys navigate. That's quite.
Oh yeah, you just added that. Yeah, Toastery gave us some hints on using the Path AI, right? That's what you're using?
Yeah.
And so now our ships can actually go down the river if they needed to. Not that they would want to. That's dangerous. But
sometimes
they can.
Want to.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. We just haven't been able to do it yet because I'm trying to get my submarine ready, and I guess we could use yours for testing, right, Char? Is it fully finished?
Yeah, the coastal U-bait is ready to go.
The only other thing I need to do is get with Eggnog to get his ships and then refit them with the new system. But that's not quite ready yet, right? The depth charge, like counter and status and all that. I mean, we can push a button to make depth charges, but it's not like there's no interface for it to like see what's.
Yeah, it's been a little while since it'd be good to get like a proper screen for it or something.
Oh, don't do screens. Just do analog.
Yeah, you're so hateful of screens. So yeah, we need to get some dials.
Well, because
some dials and numbers up.
Because when we do these things, like I have to think about like everything that we can remove from a ship to get the frame rate up. So then when we add like screens, I'm like, oh no, we're adding something else that's bad. So we have to like minimize that too. I'm like I've turned into a frame rate Scrooge or something like
dials and keypads. It is. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I did, Char? I did get it to work. I haven't tested it like fully, but like I've got like I think like 6 buzzers, and I've added like a custom like propeller underwater sound. Well, it's like I stole it from a U-boat game, but what it does is they're at different volume levels, and using the feature that you added, you can hear the propellers of the ships get louder as you move your dial, and so it gives you that Silent Hunter feel. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Silent Hunter is definitely like the vibe I get when I play it as well. So
yeah, sure. I Am Phoenix says the last time I did a sub hunt, he had Reshade installed. Oh, that's cool. Reshade's kind of fun. I played with it, but then it was crashing, so I stopped. But yeah. But anyways, guys, I guess we'll wrap this up. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for for talking and giving your thoughts and opinions on the new DLC coming October 12th for $9.99, I'm guessing. He said $9.99 or just $10. I don't know what he said. But yeah. So anyone want to say anything else before we wrap up? Blue, Dio, Sandwich, Neo, Char?
I think I'm fine.
Dio?
Same here.
Clara, you want to do some last minute
I'm
bad
holding
words?
in my temper. I'm holding in my temper.
You want to do some bad words as we wrap up?
Some bad words? Am I allowed to?
No, don't do it. We had such a good stream.
Hey, why don't you give us a Delta's rant?
I don't. You know, I don't really have one. The only thing that I got irritated during the live stream, Char, and you heard. I don't know if you heard me, but he mentions 454SS, which is a YouTuber who's doing a really good job of doing videos with thoughts and opinions about Stormworks, and Deltars mentions 454 on the fishing as like how they should do fishing, but doesn't say one word about a whole mod add-on with all the details of fishing boats, tutorials, fishing locations. I don't know if you guys have played the fishing mod. If not, go to JSI. I think it's on the workshop too, right? The fishing mod.
Yeah, it's probably not worked properly for a little while. I've been obviously neglecting it. But,
okay, don't try it. It's broken. Never mind. Ignore me. But no. But it actually had like fishing spots and fishing locations for different types of fish. Now it's all text-based when the fish get on the hooks, but you're able to take your boat out there and you're able to drop a line and a fish will connect and you can put it in a cooler and you can take the fish back to the shore and then you can like transfer the fish to a salesman or you can put them in boxes. And like, how many features do you have in that thing, Char?
Oh yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. It's like a role play game mod, a role playing game mod.
But I think that you've done enough in that add-on that Deltars could look at that and say, "Oh, this has got some good ideas that we should think about." But instead, he goes to one person because they said something that he liked. I guess I don't know what the deal is. No shade on 454. I'm just saying that it bothers me that we've got a community of weapon builders. We've got a community of add-on builders like Char. We've got server runners, and they're all ignored by Deltars. And it really frustrates me. Oh, and I'm sorry, Delta, I forgot. And we got mods. We have a whole community of modders. And there's just no love for these people. So it makes me sad. So anyways, I think that's my rant. Was that good? Is that what you wanted to hear? Is that about right there?
It was calm and accurate.
Okay. I didn't curse. But anyways, nothing but love for you guys. Thank you so much. On next Thursday, I'll be doing something different that everyone's going to hate on the YouTube channel. So stay tuned. You're going to hate it. You're not going to like it. And I'm going to get mean comments. But I don't care because it's fun. So next Thursday, new video, new type of video. And I got to hook up with Neo to do a video as well. So maybe we'll do some add-on, Char's add-on, the convoy stuff or something. So we'll be doing that soon too. So again, go check out Neo if you haven't done so already. Go check out JSI fishing add-on. Go check out Dio's stuff. I don't know what Dio has, but check out Dio's stuff. Anonymous Sandwich, are you still doing renders?
I haven't done renders in a while because of work, but I've been working on various creations.
Okay. You do still have a tutorial up though, right?
I still have a tutorial. I never did part 2.
Yeah. So if you want to learn how to do renders halfway, I guess.
You want to know how to make your rig but don't know how to render it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you want to go to space on a broken rocket, go check out Blue's workshop, I guess.
Thank you.
And again, Delta is in charge of the Stormworks modding forum. So if you want to do mods, go there and check that out. Delta Stormworks modding forum is, I think, the Discord. I don't have a link right now, but go check that out. There's a cool highway that you can use and just go crazy. Oh, we can do that, Neo. We can do the police chase. And there's the racetrack by Carnivore, which is amazing. There's another racetrack called Stone something or other that's amazing. And then, of course, there's the add-ons by other people swapping out weapons. I think that's Nika B? Nika? I don't know what his name is. Mr. B? Mr. B/Nika, I think. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to keep ranting if I don't turn off this stream. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Go ahead and say goodbye, everybody, and we'll end the stream here.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye. And